We are live. Right? We should be live. Let me just move the camera this way a little bit. Yeah. We are live, Eli. We are back. Welcome to
color.
Welcome to AoX Wrestling Podcast, Episode 1. We don't know how many of these we're going to do. But whenever something comes up big that we want to talk about, we're going to talk about it. The Alchemist is in the live chat room. We're live right now on YouTube.
The Alchemist.
The Alchemist. What's happening in wrestling now? So here's the thing. Alchemist doesn't watch wrestling. But he's fascinated with all the crazy stuff that happens behind the scenes. So, yes. We're going to talk a lot about this because... let me just make sure. Can we hear you?
Yeah, you hear me?
Yeah, we're good. I see you in the thing. We're all set.
Let me know.
We're good. Yeah, I'm just making sure the computer didn't freeze up. It probably did, but who knows. Anyway. Yes. A lot of crazy stuff has happened in the last couple of weeks in wrestling, and within the last
72, 48 hours.
48 hours. It happened on Wednesday night, right?
Yeah.
Okay, what the hell's going on? What the hell's going on, man? You got these guys fighting backstage in AEW. It reminds me of WCW. WCW backstage had their cliques. Hogan had his clique. Nash had his clique. Flair had his crew. The Luchador guys had their own thing with Conan. They had their own crew. The Animals, the Filthy Animals. Like legit. We're talking legit. We're not talking on screen. They were all going against each other, backstabbing each other backstage. It seems like this is happening now in AEW. What the fuck is going on here?
That's what it seems like to me, because it looks like guys are booking their own shit. And then they got all these contracted wrestlers that aren't doing anything on TV. You got people like Sonny Kiss, who's been there for the last 3-4 years, and I think they're just now putting him in a group, but like they had him get killed by this freaking, Parker Bordeaux guy last week. So who the hell knows what's going on, why it's happening? I don't know. To me, it gets me fed up, just like as somebody who wants to be in the business myself, and seeing all this drama going on. It's the kind of reason why I don't want to work here in the States, because it's like you deal with so much bullshit backstage. It's like,
okay, but we're not talking about the Sonny Kiss bullshit. That's the storyline. We're talking about what is going on with Hangman Adam Page's crew, which is like the AEW original crew. And then you have some of the people that are part of CM Punk's crew now. So basically, here's the deal.
It's Punk versus the Elite.
When CM Punk challenged Hangman back in, May of this year, Hangman cut a promo and hit a little too close to home. Well, on Dynamite this week, Dynamite starts with CM Punk coming to the ring. So let's get the unimportant stuff out of the way. Challenges Hangman. Says, next time you have a problem publicly, you should apologize publicly. And then he challenges him. He doesn't come out, and he goes, yeah, that's not cowboy shit, that's coward shit. Took a direct shot at him. And apparently this caused chaos in the locker room. Apparently Punk went off script. You have people siding with Hangman, then you have people siding with CM Punk. So apparently this all stemmed from Colt Cabana. Allegedly. This is what we're reading online. Don't know if it's true. We don't know anything. We're not there. They brought in CM Punk. Colt Cabana's contract was coming up. Tony Khan didn't want to renew his contract with AEW, but Tony Khan wanted to put him in Ring of Honor. Hangman is part of the Dark Order, so he's I mean, that's storyline stuff, but backstage they kind of have to ride together. It depends on the situation, I guess.
Yeah.
And he thought that was bullshit, so he called out CM Punk when they were doing their promo thing. So Hangman went into business for himself during that whole thing. Now CM Punk comes in and he does business. He goes into business for himself on Dynamite. I see people in the chat. We got Jamie on in here. We got Richard in here. What's up? The Alchemist is in here.
Yo.
So the locker room is going to chaos. Yes, that's
Pretty
the whole
much.
thing. This is like WCW all over again. You have not only that though, but Tony Khan. The last couple of months, man, this guy he can't book anything anymore.
He's yelling, screaming at people.
He's yelling, screaming at people. He's chasing people down, telling them, "Please don't leave. I'll promote you."
Yeah.
It seems like the Cody thing didn't really affect him at first, but it kind of did when Cody left. Because when Cody left, we were all like, whatever. Screw that guy. Like, the AEW will be alright. I don't know, man. It seems like Tony Khan's flipping out. And then in the meantime, you have backstage is a fucking nightmare from what we're reading the last couple of weeks.
It's been like, it's been chaos, like you've been saying, like the whole Colt Cabana thing. Now, from what we know about that, back when Punk was in WWE, we know they had that whole thing when they had that legal battle, and Colt kind of crapped on CM Punk, who they've been friends for years. So people are thinking like it has something to do with that, and that's why he's not on TV anymore, is because Punk is there or whatever. And
it could be. I mean, we don't know.
Like we don't know. We don't know if they.
You don't know if Tony Khan said, "You know what? I got the biggest wrestler in the world right now. Let me make him happy. Keep this guy off the program." I mean, remember Brian Cage? The guy was magically off TV forever, and then Tony Khan's like, "Nah." Like 8 months later, he's like, I just wanted to put you on Ring of Honor, but I couldn't tell anybody. And now he's like not even on Ring of Honor anyway, right? Brian Cage?
I haven't seen him at all, and apparently he's in the group with the fucking new embassy or whatever. I don't even know. Like,
so AEW's on his last leg, says Jamie on. AEW's going to be fine as a company for now, but backstage, this could be the beginning of the end.
If Tony doesn't get his sheep in order, for the lack of a better term, then yes, he's gonna, AEW will not succeed.
Dude, they built such a great company, and to see just the backstage drama tear it down would be really bad. I mean, this is what happened with WCW. I'm going to bring up WCW a lot here. That's why it's in the thumbnail. WCW fell apart backstage. The guys didn't want to work together. They didn't want to do business together. Even Booker T admits, it's like, yeah, we showed up to work, and it was like, who could get to the bar first? Then, meaning they had just phoned it in at that point. You know? If the backstage is routing this bad, this quickly without Cody, I think he might put rotting, but whatever. Yeah, I mean, look, we didn't think that was going to be a big deal, and apparently it's turning into it. Or it seems like it is.
That's what it appears to be, because since he left, that's kind of been like this whole thing.
Well, we said, fuck it, he's going to be fine. You got CM Punk now. They got all the guys they need. They had Bryan Danielson in there. They'll be okay.
Right.
Now, all of a sudden, Vince is gone on the other side. Maybe that's all getting to him, man. Anybody was better than Vince McMahon in 2022. Okay? We all know that.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, you got to go up against this guy, Triple H. maybe that's getting to this guy Tony Khan. I don't know. But the
we
whole
don't-
fucking backstage is falling apart. You gotta fix this stuff, man. You gotta have a meeting and you gotta be like, yo, everybody cut the bullshit. We're here to work together. We're here to make money. We're here to fucking get this thing going. If he doesn't do that, then and he doesn't get the house in order, like you just said, the company is fucking done.
He's got to put his foot down, like no matter the way you see it. And you know what? People are probably going to walk out. They are probably not going, if he does, that are not going to like what he has to say or whatever. But he has to really, even if it's not him, even if he has somebody, again, like somebody, a booker or a guy who can talk to the wrestlers for him.
He's got to get a booker. We've been saying that for the last 2 years, me and you.
Like, he needs to put his foot down in some way because, again, he's going to let everyone walk all over him. And like you said, it's going to be like WCW where freaking, oh, yeah, Rey Mysterio and Brian freaking Armstrong just so happen to be standing by the curtain. Okay, you guys go out there and have a match type shit. And that's kind of what AEW feels like sometimes. It's like, hey, you two by the curtain, go over there, go outside. You guys are booked for tonight.
Well, they were going to do Moxley and Punk at the pay-per-view. Allegedly, right?
Yeah.
But now they're saying they're doing it next week on free TV. So I don't know what they're doing. Look, the minute CM Punk came back, I said he's fighting MJF at All Out.
Yeah.
And now we're hearing MJF is coming back, and I'm like, oh, wow. Magically, what great timing, right? I think originally it was going to be MJF versus Punk all summer. Punk got hurt. They already did the MJF thing, and they told MJF, you know what? Just stay out. Let's just play it up. You stay out, whatever. And that's another problem, too. WCW did the same thing. They had Bischoff and Pillman work the guys backstage. You can't fucking do that. And if they're doing that legit over here, I don't know, man.
Yeah.
Because these works today, what's the payoff? There's no payoff to a work.
I mean, you get some hits from some random, PR guys that cover wrestling and stuff, but it doesn't do anything. It just makes everybody look like idiots. It's like
it makes the company look like a joke.
You had MJF say all that crap on TV, and
then he disappears for 3 months.
It's like, well, where's the payoff to that? Like, it would have been
different. Where's the work? Oh, yeah, wow, he worked us. All right, where's the money in the work? Where's the money at?
It would have been different had they sent him home for like a week, and then randomly, like, okay, on Rampage or something, he shows up in the crowd and he's like jumping the barricade. Like,
I would have given it like 2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have waited, what has it been, 3 months? 2 months?
Yeah, it's been a while.
It's like, dude, does anybody remember that?
Yeah. Like,
at this point.
Have him be like a free agent, quote unquote, and just have him come in, run in, and do stuff and whatever you want to do with him.
Got Trainwreck in the chat.
But like, you got to give it something to build to. He's not been on TV. He's not doing anything. He's not even on social media doing anything. Like, it's like he's pretending like he's at home, not working with the company or doing anything. It doesn't help anybody when he's not featured.
It doesn't help anybody with anything. And you know what? And in fact, even if the plan was MJF versus Punk the entire summer and that got derailed, you should have just used MJF anyway.
Right.
You should have had him become all summer long. He just becomes even more of the top heel.
Mm-hmm.
Instead, you sent the guy home and you're waiting for the other guy to come back. Allegedly, I don't know. That's what I'm assuming that they're going to be doing. Jamie says Tony Khan is proving that he's not ready and never was. I don't believe that. I think he was ready. I think he was really damn good in the beginning. I call him Rick Moranis Tony Khan in the beginning. The professional Tony Khan.
Yeah.
I think he did a great job. It's just recently, the train's derailing at this point. Look, you're going up against a 50-year-old promotion, WWE, and you're brand new. The AEW's 3 years in. That's why people are like, oh, their women's division sucks. It's like, okay, the other companies had 50 years to develop a women's division. These guys have had less than 4 years to do it. RWK88 is in the chat room with a $1.99 super chat. Sup,
Thank
y'all?
you.
How's it going? Pretty good, man. How are you doing?
Be doing good.
Jamie says the last work that actually worked I've seen was Becky versus Ronda before Charlotte got thrown in the mix. We kind of knew where that was going, though. If you read the internet, you know this stuff's not really a work. The only thing that a lot of people thought was a work was when Nia Jax punched Becky in the nose and broke her nose. They're like, oh, they're leading up to a storyline. It's like, no, she fucking punched her in the face and broke her nose.
Yeah.
That's the problem today. We're going to talk about that. That's why we're here. Because a lot of these new wrestling fans, everything's a work. Oh, he did that because it's a work. Okay, where's the money at? Where's the work? It's like the Sony guys. Oh, I don't know. It's never going to go on Xbox. And then when it goes on Xbox, oh, well, let's make up another rumor. Let's move the goalposts. Right. No, Nia fucked up. Jamie, on those fans thought it was a work. I was reading the internet, and me and Eli are sitting here like, dude, she punched her in the face. Never going to go to Performance Center. RWK says, so AEW is going to be... Is AEW going to be the one to outlast everyone? Probably not.
No.
Trainwreck, I remember before AEW even got started, people were saying WWE is better. I don't understand that, because the same people that bitched about WWE sucking all these years wanted AEW or wanted a competing federation, and the minute they got it, they're like, oh no, WWE's better. It's like, you just got what you...
We just got an alternative.
It's like when the Sony guys were like, well, we hope Xbox competes. And then when Xbox starts buying all these companies, hey, they're cheating. They're not competing. It's like, come on, guys. You can't have it both ways. It is what it is. WWE, here's the thing with Vince McMahon, okay? Once that Attitude Era shit wrapped up, he didn't know where to go from there. It's clear as day. He didn't know where the fuck to go.
Yeah.
So, and then, obviously changes have happened in the company, and they went a certain way, and then they did this, they did that. They still didn't know what the hell they were doing. That's why there was an outcry. That's why when TNA started, people were excited. TNA, forget it. That ship fell apart.
Mm-hmm.
Then you had AEW. Then NWA Power. Remember that? NWA Power was on YouTube. And then AEW started. You had fans here so desperate for an alternative, they wanted New Japan. They were like, oh, I'll watch New Japan. And I'm like, I'm not watching that shit. Like, I just would rather not even watch wrestling at that point.
Right.
And, AEW started, and it was fun. It was like, okay, this is different, but it's an alternative. And let's see where they go from here. So, and AEW took over WWE because Vince McMahon never changed. They fucking went on TV like 10 times and said, we're sorry that we suck and we're showing you the same shit. We're going to change. And they changed fucking Raw and SmackDown for like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And then they did the same exact shit for years and years and years and years and years. You literally have that SmackDown where the whole family is in the ring apologizing to the fan base because they got like a 1 rating or whatever. They got like a 1.88 or something. They went on TV and apologized, and they said, we're going to listen to you, and they didn't listen to shit because it's all Vince. That's right when AEW started. AEW started like right after they did that. Right after they apologized to the fans. And that's why AEW took off to the races, because people were done.
Yeah.
They were like, see ya. It's bad when you have to read like Twitter and stuff, and people are like, well, I hope they're going to be better this week. I hope they're actually going to change things this week. And they never did.
No.
And that's why everyone ran over to AEW. And it was a good thing AEW came along.
It was because, I mean, from my perspective, I mean, you look at the indies and all these guys that are wrestling for AEW, even the guys that are wrestling on Dark, they're bringing money to the indies now. And these indie feds are now, they can afford to pay, wrestlers and bigger stars to come to their companies and their feds and do stuff.
I like
And
Jamie
guys
on, really quick.
Guys are making a little money now.
Really quick, Jamie said Impact is a cockroach of wrestling. Hey, they lasted 20 years, right? Somehow. He's right. They'll outlast on pure spite. They're cheating because Sony definitely created Spider-Man, says Richard. I found a new name for y'all's channel. The Game Co-Planers. Oh, that's good.
The Game Co-Planers.
Maybe that'll be a good streaming channel. If we do like a only gaming streaming channel. We'll look into that. Thank you for that. Appreciate that, RWK. Hopefully we won't have to see Brock and Roman for the 400 billionth thousandth time. The Game Co-Players. The Game Co-Payers.
Game Co-Payers.
Hey, if you want to send a couple of checks this way, that would be cool. The Game Comp Players.
The Game Comp USA Players.
I used to work at Comp USA. Comp USA was a great company. Just like every other great company, though, they didn't know how to run a business.
Yeah.
Anyway,
AEW is doing good.
The Game Performers.
When WWE, when it was only WWE, the indies were doing shit. Like, we really only had the indies.
The indies, let me tell you something, brother, okay? I'm going to tell you right here, right now. The indies is a piece of shit. Okay? The indies, every time I see the wrestlers on the indies, they're shorter than my fucking leg. Okay?
Right.
If I had a blood clot in my leg, it'd be bigger than half these guys on the indies.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying, brother?
No.
A lot of these guys are 3 feet tall. They think they're the world fucking champion. They're all wearing t-shirts because they don't work out. Look at the fucking matches you were in. All these guys look like fucking maniacs. I thought you were fucking lining up to do a porn.
Oh, shit.
I was like, damn, man, Eli, there were 2 women in the ring, too. I was like, holy shit, what's going on here? This isn't a wrestling match. Because none of these guys look like wrestlers. You're the only guy that actually looked like a wrestler in that fucking thing.
You got your bottom level indies, and then you got stuff like, you got DPW that's putting on good matches. You got Battle Club Pro. You got places that do have good matches. Now, whereas all the indies do.
Okay, motherfucker, let me tell you something. We're going to stop right in your tracks right here, okay? Because this is something that I have a problem with the current fans today. Good matches, good matches, good matches. Who fucking cared? You want a good match? Watch WrestleMania. Okay?
Yeah.
I want to watch wrestling and see these guys fucking just be characters and be cool.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck the matches. I want to see Roman Reigns come out and be like, yo, motherfucker, you slept with my wife last night. Yeah. Well, your wife came to me, motherfucker. And Roman Reigns like, yeah, motherfucker, I'm going to punch you right in the fucking face. Yeah, do go ahead. And they beat the shit out of each other.
Yeah.
I don't want these guys to come out and be like, Roman, you said something bad about me last year. And I'm angry right now. Oh, yeah? Would you come bring it down here? The tribal chief is waiting. And then they go, ooh, and they do a tie-up.
They do a tie-up after they
okay?
Said they were going to kill each other.
That's what I'm saying, okay? I want to see these guys beat the shit out of each other.
Yeah. In the good indies, you actually get good build-up, good development for these guys. That's why these guys get picked up by the bigger companies.
I want to see ass-kicking, exactly. Jamion's 100% dead on.
Exactly.
Trainwreck said indie porn.
Indie porn.
After Xbox goes to hell, you're all going to do WWE goes to hell? We kind of did WWE goes to hell.
Yeah.
It was called this podcast.
But I think you have indies that are good if you're into the indies. Like, you don't have to watch the indies. You watch the indies, you support guys on the indies because they're people you want to see in the bigger companies. But like this past week, for example, when you see the match that John Moxley was in, I won't mention the person who he was wrestling. You see that type of shit.
Hold on, man. The man of the hour is here. Hockey fan.
Hockey fan.
What's going on, hockey fan? Hockey fan, for anybody listening, he's been with us since day one. Hockey fan has been a viewer for 18 years. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Longer than you two.
Wait a minute here. Hockey fan's been a fan since 2006.
There you go.
So almost 18 years and almost 20 years.
Yeah.
So, and Hockey fan has been here from day one, and he's always supported us, not just financially, but just he's been here. He followed us through all the channels that we were in, and say hello to the man.
Hell yeah.
Hockey fan, how the hell you doing, man? Anyway.
But yes.
So Moxley had a match with some guy, and he kissed him in the ring. This is over the weekend, right? The AEW World Champion is grabbing this guy and licking his face and kissing him. Like, what the fuck are we watching here?
That's not even the worst part. The guy was jacking off in the middle of the ring.
So what was he doing? Like, he was wrestling some indie show where? Like, what is this thing called?
It was in Jersey. It was in I think it was Atlantic City, but I'm not sure. It's GCW. Okay, we all know the promotion, and I don't know. This guy, to me, he's like the new age, like Joey Ryan. He's not that good. He has, you know, he plays himself, the gimmick up and everything. I won't say, you know, he's of a different, I guess, sexual orientation, different sexual preference, whatever. And that they were kind of playing it up in that match. But at the same time, it's like they took it way too far. You got John Moxley's kissing him, and John's got him in a fucking sleeper hole. He's jacking off while he's got him in a sleeper hole. I'm like, yo, what the fuck is going on here? And I'm just like,
dude, that makes Goldust look like a Disney movie.
Like, this is like, you would have never seen Goldust do something like that. Even in the Attitude Era, Goldust wasn't doing anything like this crazy. And you have women flashing their tits and everything on freaking WWF television.
I was there.
You know?
By the way, I was at a house show, a WWE house show in Poughkeepsie, New York. I think Triple H beat Mr. Kennedy. And there was this young girl, probably in her 20s. And by the way, there was a little kid right next to her. Mm-hmm. We thought it was like her son or something. Triple H points at her and she pulls her fucking tits out right in front of everybody in the building. And we're like, is this for real?
Yeah.
Obviously it was a plant. But it's like, what's the point? Like, his gimmick isn't that he goes to fucking titty bars.
Right.
The Poughkeepsie Tapes, that movie sucked. Well, Hockey Fan says, it's always a pleasure listening to you guys. Hope everyone's doing well, and I'm doing pretty good. It's just been busy with work. Okay, man. We hear you. Well, we hope that we hope that work goes by quickly for you all the time and you get home quick. Just relax, because work sucks.
Like, you cannot bring, I'll tell you this right now, you cannot bring your kids to a GCW show. And I've been to GCW shows where there were kids, okay? And at this point, you do not want to bring your kids to that show. You could bring your kid to, like, an ECW show and be fucking fine, but, like, back in the 90s, but, like, GCW is taken to a whole nother level. I don't know.
By the way, I'm sorry, I missed a super chat from Richard. $2 Canadian super chat. He didn't say anything. But while we were talking, he must have put that through. So thank you. Appreciate that, Richard.
But, like, you have goofy stuff like that happening in wrestling, and when you hear people like myself or like somebody else talking about the indies, and that's the first thing you see when you scroll on Twitter or when you go, that's and like you were saying, it's not what people want to see. Like, people want gimmicks, but people don't want you to take the gimmick. Like, you, at the end of the day, you're still in a wrestling ring. People expect to see somebody get their ass kicked, somebody, fight. Something to feel like that's on the line. The fans want to get with that. They don't want to see some guy fucking making out with John Moxley, jerking off in the middle of the ring. He was literally like,
Okay, I didn't see it. Okay, but if you're 100% dead accurate on that,
you watch the fucking like footage on Twitter. Like it's on Twitter. You can
okay. So look, we had Tony Khan had the fuck was that guy's name? Marco Stunt.
Yeah.
That guy at the indie show, he sucked on a fucking dildo in the middle of the ring.
Yeah,
and then once that picture got out, Tony Khan got rid of him.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Oh, Tony wouldn't even talk to me again." I'm like, "Can you fucking blame him? You just went over there and made his company look like a piece of shit. He probably never wanted to look at your face ever again."
Yeah. Like, indies just think about...
But here's the thing with Tony Khan, though. He's got to tell these guys, you know what? If you're going to do these matches, I'd rather you keep it clean.
Yeah.
Because this is going to reflect on us.
Mm-hmm.
You know, where Marco Stunt, he saw that shit, and he was like, you know what? Just cut this guy off. He told the agent dealing with Marco, he was like, just get rid of him. Mm-hmm. His contract's almost up. Just tell him he's out of here. And Marco was like, "Oh, it was hard to get in touch with Tony." And it's like, I don't blame the guy, because why would he want to talk to you?
And the same guy that...
You just sabotaged the company.
Is the guy that Marco did that... When he did that with that guy in that match.
Well, then Tony Khan needs to talk to Moxley and be like, yo,
look,
you can't do the show, or if you do it, you got to keep all that shit out of it.
And I don't mean to bring like this, Japan up a lot and everything. I know that's where I want to work, and I watch Japan. Perry does not watch New Japan Pro Wrestling or anything like that. But when you go to Japan,
tell us, Dave,
and you see the New Japan guys when they come over here, New Japan tells them, you can work for this promotion, you can work for whatever promotion, you just have to come through the office and we'll approve it. I think Tony needs to do something like that, because he can't just have these guys working at any Bush League or any bullcrap indie that does some, has wrestling on it.
Yeah, but that's what he started AEW with. And look, we knew the minute he started getting big players, he was going to weed those guys out, and he pretty much has.
Yeah.
For the most part. But like you said, he's still going back to the well a little bit there. I think Tony Khan's biggest problem is he's signing everybody.
Yeah.
And he's got no room for these guys.
He doesn't.
He's doing what Vince was doing like 5 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, Vince was just, put everybody in NXT, and then we're going to grab more guys. And it got to the point where we're like, why is Vince grabbing all these guys? And then Vince ended up fucking firing all those guys because he had more fucking money to pay out, probably.
Right.
Jamie says indies have a carny BS stigma. I don't mind the indies, but the problem is when you got guys that are as big as my leg, people in the fucking crowd look like superstars in these guys.
I mean, I've seen it, and there are a lot of shorter guys on the indies. Perry's not bullshitting.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you're not looking at a guy in the indies and you're like, wow, that's another Tyler Black. Oh, that's another CM Punk. You're not seeing that. You're just seeing a bunch of fucking slobs in the ring. They're fucking under 4 feet tall. And they think it's fucking 1988 over here.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, my man.
I think indie promoters have to do a better job at just booking guys.
Who's this fat guy talking about us? It's like, well, this fat guy isn't in the ring, and I don't want to be in the ring. I'm sharing my opinion with my friend. That's what I'm doing here. Yeah. I got my own business I worry about.
Look, I have no problem being on camera either. Right now, I just fucking... I would be on camera, but for me personally, it just takes.
Listen, we have about 600 more episodes to go, so you'll be okay.
I'll be on camera eventually, so you'll see what I look like, and if you haven't seen my face on this channel already. But I don't care. I'm gonna speak my mind the way I want to, and if guys in the locker rooms don't like it, I mean, they can see me, but But at the same time, it's like
Everyone's mad at each other anyway in wrestling. It doesn't matter.
Like, I'm at the bottom of the barrel, okay? I don't give a shit if anybody cares about my opinion. But, look, you have shorter guys. I don't mind the shorter guys in the business. You know, if you want to build the division around it, like, that to me is kind of the problem, is they want to have everybody be the world champion kind of now. You know, like, you have Rey Mysterio, okay?
But here's the thing, Eli. Here's the thing, Eli. Rey Mysterio was a fucking superstar. He was a megastar.
Exactly.
So when he got the WWE title, it was fucking great because Rey Mysterio was the guy. He wasn't the guy that was going to hold the company down for like 8 years, but he was the guy at the time.
He was a name that they could put the belt on.
He was a huge fucking name because that's what they used to do back in the day. ECW would take indie guys. Look at Steve Corino. We still remember Steve Corino because he was a fucking awesome wrestler. But ECW took Steve Corino and they said, we're going to make you into a big star. And dude, the guy was ECW champion. People knew who the fuck he was. He worked with a lot of guys.
Mm-hmm.
And boom, overnight. It's like the NWO. Like Hulk Hogan was right, man. You throw an NWO shirt on somebody, boom. Yeah. People know who you are.
My thing is, you can't throw a belt on somebody and make them something. You have to build that.
The belts don't mean anything anymore. Look at WWE. The belt has a fucking W on it.
Yeah.
The only difference from the belts is the colors. It's like, okay, this guy Triple H, people are like, Triple H should buy a limousine, he should buy a boat, he should buy this, he should buy that, he should do this. How about you just bring the fucking belts back?
They're like Power Rangers with the belts. They got the green belt, the blue belt, the fucking red belt. And
the women's title looks like the world title.
Where's the Megazord belt at? Like, so they can combine all the fucking titles.
Let's just say small, soft planet. Soft planet? I think he meant plain and simple. Mm-hmm. And soft, plain and simple. Yeah, they are very soft. A lot of these guys are bitching about, the crowd yelled that I suck in the ring. It's like, are you kidding me, man?
Yeah, right.
And then you got some of the wrestlers, their wives are going on Twitter fucking saying, how dare you talk about my husband like that? It's like, what the fuck are we doing here? Like, don't you realize when you do stuff like that, you make your husband look worse?
Right.
Because it looks like he can't defend himself? Number one, it looks like he can't take criticism. Then when his girlfriend or his wife goes out on there and says that shit, it makes the guy look 10 times worse. Can you imagine if Twitter was around when Rock and Stone Cold were on top? And The Rock says, Stone Cold says, Rock, he tweets at Rock, I'm going to whoop your ass, blah, blah. And then The Rock's wife comes back and goes, how dare you speak to my husband like that, blah, blah, blah. It's like, what the fuck is this shit? The Rock looks like a dick.
Yeah.
Plain and simple. Yeah, that's what he meant.
You want to do little shit like...
I want the old belts back. Yes, I agree. Most of the wrestlers today have thin skin.
They do. Man, you know how many bad matches I've had, and fans... First off, fans never, like, yelled at me or anything like that I sucked or anything like that, even then. If they did, I wouldn't give a shit.
They were too busy in the ring with you. That's why.
You know? But at the same time, it's like, if you want to have a go at the fans or whatever, play up your gimmick, whatever you want to do, fine, because everybody thinks everything's a work anyway, so they'll probably think you're working them. But
okay, you know what? This is something I hate online too. Everyone's got to stop with the work shit. RWK, take care, buddy.
What the hell's going on here?
They would cancel Stone Cold. Thank you again, RWK88. Thank you for the super chat, and thank you for jumping in tonight. Appreciate it. If you can't take criticism, you're in the wrong business. Look, I'm going to say something here right now. There's a difference between criticism and being a dick. And yeah, wrestling fans are dicks. We know that. Okay? But when you're in the ring and somebody screams like, you suck, whatever, come on, man.
You're like skipping every other word. I don't know if it's happening in the chat. Give me a second. Let me come back in.
Is everything okay on this end? Can you hear me now?
Say something.
Yeah, can you hear me? Are you good? They say in the chat that I'm fine. Oh. Hey, how about you? Can you hear me now?
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me? Oh my god. I'm going to tell him to reboot his computer. At Eli.
It probably is on my end. I have no idea. Everything.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay, then we're good right now then, right?
We're good.
Okay.
I think my Discord was tripping out because.
If that happens again, just reboot the computer.
Yeah.
Anyway, look. This whole thing. Thank you, chat room. I appreciate you guys letting me know. But yeah, I mean, look, these guys today, it's a different ball game. I get it. Technical difficulties, yeah, just like every other show. I don't know, man. These guys are just different today. I get it. Look, there's a difference between being a dick and there's a difference between criticism. But literally, when your job is you're in front of a bunch of fucking people and they're screaming and yelling or whatever, you don't stop in the middle of the fucking ring and be like, hey, fuck you guys. Remember Big Show did that?
Yeah.
Some guy yelled at Big Show on the ECW show, and they left it on the WWE Network. I don't know if it's on Peacock, but on the actual WWE Network, some guy said, fuck you, Big Show. And Big Show went over to him and said, you're a fucking pussy. Shut the fuck up. I'm going to come back and beat the fucking shit out of you. Hey, this is all on camera. And it was like some like little skinny guy threatening Big Show. And it wasn't a work or not. There was a fucking guy in the front row. And Big Show lost it. It's like, dude, you know that these people are going to act stupid.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know.
I mean, you play as a wrestler, you play into it, whatever. But you don't like do what guys do today and get on Twitter and get all mad about it or whatever.
Big Show would have eaten that guy.
We go back to wrestling where people just wrestled in the ring and it didn't matter what the other people said. They just didn't acknowledge them. They just fucking beat each other up.
Listen, here's one thing I'll give Vince Russo a lot of credit for. When Vince Russo wrote the shows, everyone had a storyline.
Mm-hmm.
And everything was, okay, match. 2 to 3 minutes. Cut to the back. Interview. Cut to commercial. Interview. Cut to the back. I have that all jarbled and jumbled, but everything had, like, it was formatted a certain way.
Yeah.
And once he left and McMahon rode the wave, once this ruthless aggression shit happened, that's when they started like getting away from that formula.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just, I don't know. I miss that. I'm not a fan of just having random fucking matches on TV.
No. Not either. It's like
they were doing that because creatively they didn't know where to go with these people.
Yeah, like, okay, you had some good matches here and there during that
Yeah,
time.
you know what? We're going to fill... You know, WWF never went to a commercial during matches until they bought WCW. Mm-hmm. WCW did that. WWF, they always said, we're going to have the match, and then we'll hit commercial after the match.
Right.
Now you're watching Roman Reigns wrestle for 40 fucking minutes, and there's 75 commercials in between the match. It's like... Why would I want to sit there and watch this fucking match for this long? Why would I want to sit through these commercials for one match? And you know Roman Reigns is going to fucking win anyway. Like, this is why that dude needed to go.
Yeah.
Because now I think it's going to get a lot better as far as that. But holy shit, man. Like, this guy was, like, trying to kill the fucking business. And he had no idea.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I think the whole thing, there's too many belts complaint. I don't know. I think that complaint is so freaking invalid.
Lean into the fans and, yeah, if you're here, laugh. Exactly.
Yeah.
These guys go, oh, how dare you guys say that when I was in the ring tonight. It's like, what are you doing? He told us in 2000, he said he was going to kill the company with the NWO thing.
Yeah. And killed the NWO like 2 weeks after they came in.
He brought in the NWO to kill them.
Yeah. I don't know, man. Like, the whole too many belts.
He paid the NWO to come in so he could kill them. None of it makes sense. Yeah, I'm gonna pay these guys hundreds of millions of dollars so they can kill my company, but I'm gonna kill them anyway. I'm gonna kill them instead. It's like, why don't you just not hire them?
They bought I think that just go to show you where he was creatively then, because it was like they bought him in, he had the match with The Rock, and then it was like they had nothing left for him, pretty much.
Well, he didn't think that Hogan was gonna be cheered at WrestleMania, even though he was being cheered all weekend at the fucking Access show.
Right.
Not too many belts. Not that there's too many belts. It's that creative is fucking stupid. I agree. I don't mind belts, okay? But again, make the belts look cool. Make the fans want... Okay, look. The belts look like shit, so the fans don't give a fuck who wins them or how they win them.
Mm-hmm.
If you make the belts look really cool, like prestigious, you're going to be like, I really want this guy to win that belt. Because that belt would look really good on this guy, and I think this guy would be a really good champion. It's all about presentation, right?
Yeah.
Isn't that the whole point of WWE?
That's what wrestling is. It's supposed to be the presentation. It's supposed to be
When the fucking... Look at the Intercontinental title. It looks like a piece of shit now. Look at all the other fucking belts. The 24/7 title looked like the McDonald's clock from back in the day.
Yeah, the McDonald's
The
clock.
McDonald's clock.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck? That's why it's got Triple H, man. Everyone wants these list of demands from this guy. They call him Papa H now, which is ridiculous. It's embarrassing what people are calling this guy on the internet.
You got a rapper name?
Oh, yeah, bring back this, bring back that, do this, do that. Just bring the belts back. That's it.
What?
That's all I would say. Just bring the belts back. Bring back the old titles. Make people...
I say fucking WCW reboot. Fucking take the belts off everybody and bring the old belts back, and then fucking have everybody fight for them.
You know, they really should do that. I hated when they did that.
Yeah.
Because it's like WCW was so convoluted that they had to do it. WWE should never have gotten to the point where they have to actually do shit like that.
Right.
But you're right. Triple H is the head. He's the head of the table now, right? Reboot it.
Or fuck it. Don't even reboot it. What you do is, whoever the champion is and whoever the number one contender is, come out one night.
Well, it was Austin Theory. Now he's gone. Like, they're not even using him.
Do Night of Champions or whatever, Clash of Champions, whatever they do now, and then be like, tonight we got all new belts. Every champion tonight is getting a new fucking belt, and then they have all these awesome belts laid out, and then whoever wins the
match, but then you're going to have these fucking stupid fans like, there's too many belts on the show. Wait, there's not enough wrestling. We're going to get whipped off. It's like, oh my god, it's a fucking live comic book. Do you get mad if Spider-Man doesn't keep his costume on halfway through the comic book? Because, you know, he's also a guy called Peter Parker, and he's got to live a life, too, that you have to read about.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I think they should make the belts look good. Bring back the old titles. Because I think Vince went off the fucking rails with that thing.
He bought
Oh,
the
well, the champion needs to have the logo on the belt, so when he's on the Today Show, they'll see that WWE. Oh, we'll send the belts to all the people that win the Super Bowl. It's like, who the fuck cares? The product is fucking dog shit. Who cares if football players are running around? Yeah, I got the belt. People are gonna be like, oh, that's an ugly fucking belt this guy's wearing over there. What is that? I don't know what that's from. Who cares?
Right.
But when you got the football players running out on the field with the big gold belt, people are like, holy shit, that's Ric Flair's belt. Who's Ric Flair? He's a fucking wrestler. He's a world champion. Oh, that's a wrestling belt? Yeah, that's a wrestling belt. Oh, maybe I'll watch wrestling tomorrow.
Yeah.
You send the fucking guys belts with big W's on them. It's like, what the fuck is a W for?
It looks like crap.
That shit's stupid, man. It's the dumbest way. They say they're promoting the product. They're not promoting shit. They don't get any fucking ratings off that.
And the design for the belt is like a fucking... It looks like a base. Like
It's
on
a
baseball.
fucking W!
Like, it's disgusting. Like... there's no, like, personality to the belt.
It's
like
a world championship, but it has a fucking W on it.
Yeah, the Winged Eagle had the eagle with the world on it. The fucking Attitude Belt was like, a big ass fucking round,
The Attitude Belt is just a winged eagle with the fucking plate inside of the wings. The same exact belt.
The Intercontinental Belt, you had the fucking, the pillars or whatever, and then you had the fucking World Belt or whatever.
2002 era belts, I don't want those belts. I'll go back with the 1999, 2001 belts.
I agree. Although I like the 90s, like the 80s, late 80s, early 90s Intercontinental belt.
Yeah, that belt's fine.
I like that one. The Attitude Era belt's cool too, but I really like the original IC belt. But the tag team titles, those were fucking.
The Attitude Era IC belt, I like it, but again, like you said, it could go either way. With the original Intercontinental on that one.
The IC or the tag belts, like I think the tag belts should have never changed.
They should have never changed.
Like, did you want to change the color of the plates or whatever?
They spent way too much money on those fucking belts, and they wouldn't even say the goddamn word on TV.
Title, like a bunch of times.
You had the SmackDown Tag Champions, you had the Raw Tag Champions, but the SmackDown Tag belts were the regular tag belts, but the Raw Tag belts were a fucking ugly version of the tag belts that weren't even the original tag belts. Like, my God. Enough.
Yeah. It was like that period after the Attitude Era, they changed the belt like every time.
If they were gonna legit stick with two different fucking like companies, great. But the fact that they were just two brands under WWE, what the hell are you doing?
To me, that was dumb. It's like Raw's a different show, SmackDown's a different show. If you were gonna take away a show, it should have been like SmackDown or something. Once The Rock left, and then I don't know, do World Championship Wrestling.
Well, here's the thing too: they merged the belts, they fucking split the belts. They merged the belts, they split the belts. They lied. They said, "Oh, we're doing Cena and Orton for the last time ever." They even fucking laughed in people's faces, said it's the last time ever. And then 2 months later, oh, Randy Orton, I'm going to fight you tonight. Oh, yeah, John Cena, we're going to fight. Yeah, and the fans are like, what the fuck is this? Anyway, we're not here to really dump on WWE's past. We're just trying to, like, paint a picture for today. So let's talk about these new fans, okay? I'm talking about people that aren't me and you.
Yeah.
I go on Twitter. I hated the Raw Tag belts. OG ones are king. Exactly. I agree with that. Otherwise, I could lose my mind if I got a replica belt. Not kids today. Don't buy that shit. They buy the ugly belts too.
Yeah, they do buy the ugly belts.
Now listen. I go on Twitter. I see a list of demands for Triple H. They call him Papa H.
Papa H.
And I'm just like, and okay. So now they say the word belt and wrestler and everything on TV. I see tweets, oh my God, they said pro wrestler on TV. You know Vince is at home screaming and yelling at the TV. I'm like, I guarantee you Vince is even fucking watching TV. I like how these people act like they wrestling fans are like these fucking PlayStation guys. They gatekeep the communities. They make stupid jokes that aren't funny. Like, we talk about this all the time. I screenshot this stuff and I send it to you. And I'm like, what's so funny about this tweet? Because the guy's like, oh, I bet Vince's blood pressure went through the roof because they said pro wrestler and they said belt tonight. It's like, how is this funny? It's stupid.
Mm-hmm.
It's not his company anymore. I mean, it is his company, but it's not. He's not running the show anymore. He's going to let them do what they're going to do, and that's it.
Yeah.
You know, Jim Cornette was trending tonight on Twitter. You know why? Because they dropped his name on commentary, and they're like, oh my God, they mentioned Jim Cornette, and how could they do this? And I'm like, dude, he's fucking won the Hall of Fame. Like, he didn't go in the Hall of Fame, but he put the Rock and Roll Express in, what, a couple of years ago?
Yeah.
He was on all the documentaries that A&E did on WWE recently, right? Or biography.
He's been in previous.
That's what I'm saying. But he's in the current ones too. So it's like, why is this like a thing? Now, if they mention Vince Russo on fucking commentary, then they could be like, okay, wow. But, you know, but what's the big deal either way? So they mentioned Cornette. So they mentioned pro wrestler.
And that's
but all these people have to make these dumb jokes online. It's annoying.
And it
makes me embarrassed to be a fan.
People didn't. I think it's these people that didn't know who Jim Cornette was until
Vince
like
is preparing for fucking jail.
You know, like a lot of people really know Jim Cornette now because of the podcast, but nobody knows that. Okay, Jim Cornette used to be a manager and used to be like pretty big in the business.
These people today don't. These new fans.
Mm-hmm.
They just think he's some fucking guy that's bitter and it's on the internet. And that's another thing, too. Every time they fire somebody, they explain what happened. Oh, they're just bitter. How are they fucking bitter? They're telling you why they don't work for the company anymore.
They're telling you why they got fired and everything. Like, why they got released.
Yeah. Oh, well, they need to toe the company line and kiss WWE's butt. Why? They don't work there anymore.
For what? Yeah. WWE doesn't even want him back, so what's the point?
Trainwreck says Jim Cornette was a big part of WWE, EF, and OVW. That's correct.
TNA, too. I think TNA's best years were when Jim was there.
Well, you know, we like Jim Cornette.
Yeah.
He's good. He's always kept it real. But, you know, the whole thing, I go online and see the dumbest things, guys. It's annoying.
Yeah, today I saw like some fan go up to AJ Styles and was like, the Young Bucks need a partner on Wednesday. You gonna be there? It's like he's in fucking contract with WWE for like.
What's he gonna say? Yes, and then he's gonna get fucking fired.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, tell the Young Bucks I'll call him up right now. I'll show up on there. I'll get fucking fired from WWE, and I'll have Tony Khan hire me. What's AJ Styles gonna say to the guy? You know what he said to him, right? I saw that interview. I read that interview.
Like,
it was an interview. He said, tell them to come to WWE. And you know what? With the way AEW's going, they might show up there.
Yeah, they might just finally take the money.
But that's another thing too, man. I'm just seeing this stuff online. It's like, why do people act like this? They didn't act like this when they had Rock and Stone Cold and everything.
Right. I think to me too, another missed opportunity is like in AEW we kind of got the freaking Bullet Club, but not really. And they would do matches that would like tease like previous like on Wednesday it was literally Los Ingobernables versus the Bullet Club.
Right.
Like reignited, but they're not the Bullet Club anymore. And I think if they would have brought that here to the States, it kind of would have extended that a little bit more. And people here could finally see, okay, why is Bullet Club a big deal? Because now you look at fucking New Japan, Bullet Club's full of it's basically like NWOB team now.
Well, yeah, we knew that was going to happen because eventually everyone was going to go. They were going to go to America and leave, and they have.
Yeah.
You can only run that shit for so long. Look at NWO. Yeah. NWO ran that shit into the ground. They never did the payoff because, again, like we mentioned earlier, everyone had their clique backstage. Nobody wanted to fucking do business with each other. And what did they do at the end? They fucking made up and said, yeah, you know, we'll just merge a fucking NWO with red and black and white. And they did that, and there was no payoff. They killed Goldberg. Mm-hmm. They killed everybody else in the company. And it got to the point where this guy was thrown out, Bischoff. They killed NWO completely. It just stopped one day. And you had WCW, which was beaten the fuck by the NWO for like, what was it, 4 years? Mm-hmm. One day NWO's not there anymore. Like, yeah, all right, guys, we're just WCW. Sid Vicious is champion. And it's like the fan base doesn't know where to go from there. It's like, wait a minute, everything was NWO. Now we're just WCW. You got just Sting and Goldberg and
that payoff.
Sid and DDP and that's it.
Yeah.
And Ric Flair wasn't even there half the time. He showed up at one point. You just took like the heart of WCW out of there. But the thing is, though, NWO never gave you the payoff.
No.
You never got the payoff with that. They beat Goldberg. They shouldn't have beat Goldberg. There was a way to get the title off that guy without killing him.
I think so. Yeah, they could have did.
Killed him. Killed him dead. It was over. Mm-hmm. He was the best thing that they had. It was the only star that they created in that company that actually did something really good. Yeah. I mean, DDP was good. Booker T was good. All these guys were great. But Goldberg was their, like, homegrown guy. Like, he was the guy. And they killed him. And I don't want to hear this shit. Goldberg can't work. It's fucking wrestling, guys. That's the whole thing. Nobody can enjoy this thing anymore. If you look on the internet, oh, he did this. Oh, this guy did that. Oh, this guy did this. This guy did this, that. It's fucking wrestling. Mm-hmm. Like, look at the CM Punk thing. We're going to circle back to that now. Now I read on Twitter, some guy posted, oh, anti-AEW guys and anti-WWE guys have come together to agree that CM Punk needs to leave the industry. It's like, what? Why are they anti-fans on both sides, and why are they coming together to get rid of a wrestler? Like, what the fuck kind of mentality is this? These people are fucking crazy. It's wrestling.
It's fucking... Exactly.
Who cares? Everyone's got to pick a side. Why? You can watch any wrestling you want whenever you want.
Yeah.
If you decide you don't want to watch WWE anymore, like majority of us did, we didn't say, oh, fuck WWE, we hope they go to business. We just said, you know what, we're done. Mm-hmm. And when they get better, we'll come back. It seems like WWE is getting a little bit better, but we have to wait and see.
This isn't the first time, like, I quit watching WWE. I quit watching WWE the first time around the EC, like, when they started getting the ECW stuff.
Right.
And ECW started going downhill, literally, like, probably right after that first episode.
Don't like it, don't watch it. That's what Jamie on says in the chat. Hockey fan says Goldberg was the man. The newer fans need to relax with this Bret Hart shit. Exactly. That's another thing I want to bring up real quick. By the way, I was watching during that whole time period. Bret wrestled after that match.
Yeah.
He wrestled for about 3 weeks after that match. Then before the pay-per-view, he was told by his doctor, yo, you got a concussion, you got to stop. And he stopped. Yeah. At some point, Bret pinpointed this to that kick. But he doesn't remember being kicked in the head.
No.
I mean, you see it on the footage, but he doesn't remember. So if he doesn't remember being kicked in the head, he had 3 more weeks of fucking matches after that.
3 more weeks, and not only that, he was doing fucking hardcore matches.
He was doing hardcore matches.
Like, you were like, okay, yeah, maybe you can pinpoint it to the kick because it was kind of a.
Maybe it was the kick, but it's not like Goldberg went in there and be like, yeah, you know what, I'm going to fuck this motherfucker Bret Hart up tonight. I'm going to make sure this guy never works ever again.
Goldberg
it was an accident, okay?
Like everybody. And
Bret, by the way, Bret's forgiven him on and off. You know what I think it is with Bret?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't blame the guy. But here's, I think, the problem with Brett. And I love Brett. He's probably one of the best WWF champions of all time.
Favorite wrestlers. Like, I will never, not.
I think he's going to top Hulk Hogan because Hogan was Hogan, but we find out later that the guy is a scumbag.
Yeah.
So I think Brett represents what a WWF champion should have been. I'm always going to go with Austin and Rock, but Brett's like the guy. So listen, I think Brett sees all these guys coming out of retirement for one last match. He sees the guys going overseas and making a lot of money for one-day payoffs.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Brett's like pissed because he's like, fuck, I should have been doing all that stuff. And you know what, to be honest with you, Brett should have had a run when they bought WCW. He should have came back to WWF and he should have fucking had that storyline. Guess who he would have came back against? He would have came right back against Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Would have came full circle.
It would have came full circle because he wrestled him at 13, left. He comes back after WrestleMania 17. And in the meantime, Austin, he does the alliance thing.
Mm-hmm.
Austin sends Kurt Angle after Bret Hart. Then he sends Booker T after Bret Hart. And then it's Bret and Austin at SummerSlam. You know how crazy that would have been?
And you would have had some amazing matches that year, too, because freaking Kurt Hennig came back 2001. Booker T was there. You could have had Bret and Booker T over there. Like, you could have had so many just crazy dream matches at that point in time. Fucking Rock and Bret Hart.
So, I here's the thing. At the end of the day, I think that's what happened with Bret. I think he just sees all this stuff now. He sees how big it's gotten, and I think he wishes he could have been part of that. It's sad.
Yeah, no, it is.
But I think he's, he just always thinks back to that Goldberg kick because he's like, if I didn't get kicked in the head that day, I would have been fucking making money right now, a lot more money.
And Brett's been through a lot worse.
Yeah, he's been through a lot of shit. So I mean, look, Brett's a good guy. I like Bret, always did. But I think that might be some of the issue there. But it's the internet. And they're like, oh, see, Bret was right. Goldberg can't work. The fans today hate Goldberg because he can't work. It's like, guys, neither could fucking Hulk Hogan. None of these guys could.
UK wrestling fans, big.
None of these guys could. John Cena couldn't fucking work. They called it the 5 moves of doom. Remember?
Mm-hmm.
Ric Flair does the same fucking match all day long.
He's been the same match for fucking 50 years.
That's what I'm saying. Oh, well, Goldberg hurts people, or remember the thing with Undertaker a couple of years ago? Goldberg dropped Undertaker on his head. No. If you rewatch that match again, the first man to drop somebody on their head was the Undertaker. Dropped Goldberg on his head. Goldberg tried to finish the match. Almost dropped Undertaker on his head. But let's not talk about the Undertaker fucking up because he's the Undertaker. Like, get the fuck out of here with that. You people are blind and stupid.
Yeah.
Rewatch the fucking match. See who dropped who first. Because Frank and I sat there and we rewound the damn match.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't he have a heart attack? No, Bret had a stroke because he was on a bike. He used to bike, not a motorcycle. I thought it was a motorcycle when I first read the report. It was not a motorcycle. He just biked around town, and he hit a pothole. And he flew off the bike. He didn't have a helmet on. Hit his head, and he was taken to the hospital. He had a stroke.
Yeah.
That's why what Eli said. Like, he's been through a lot. So.
Mm-hmm. In the 80s and the 70s, Bret Hart has been at that point, like by the year 2000, Bret Hart was in the business.
Which match? The only match he fought the Undertaker in.
Yeah. Bret, he's been in like crazy matches. Like he got the crap beat out of him. Look up Dino Bravo versus freaking Bret Hart. freaking Dino Brown beat the crap out of Bret Hart. Bret broke his neck in that match. Like, it was a crazy fucking match from I think like 90.
Prostate cancer. Yes, I remember that.
Yeah, like.
No, it was Goldberg versus Undertaker.
Yeah,
Undertaker dropped Goldberg on his head. Goldberg tried to finish the match. Goldberg went to pick up Undertaker, almost dropped Undertaker on his head. But the fans always go, oh, Goldberg dropped the Undertaker on his head. And it's like, okay, but who did it first? The beloved Undertaker could never drop anybody on their head, right? He dropped Goldberg on his fucking head first. Anyway, Goldberg was the man. If you grew up in that time period, you know how big Bill Goldberg was. He was everywhere. Okay? That Goldberg vs. Undertaker, yes, exactly. Watch that again. You'll see who dropped who first. But the fans are like, oh, Goldberg dropped Undertaker. He almost killed him. Like, oh, okay, so Undertaker didn't drop Goldberg and almost kill him either. Neither should have been in the ring that match. Agreed.
Yeah.
Anyway, what are we going back to now? What are we circling back to here? We got sidetracked with Goldberg.
Yeah. I guess just the guys, like,
no, we're talking about, like, the internet. We're talking about the internet with these stupid things. You know, when there's squash matches on TV. If I could talk tonight, it is late. I see fans like they don't know what that is, and they're like, "Oh, we got ripped off." Well, you got ripped off. Well, the match is only 3 minutes long. It's like that's a squash match.
It's only like 2-3 minutes long. Like what? Like...
And then I read shit about how the Attitude Era was overrated because the matches weren't long. And I'm like, okay. The matches were short because they had to fucking push out storyline and build up characters. I know you people don't know what that is today. I know you think having a 45-minute match is building character development. That's not how it works. Plus, back in the day, you had to sell something called a pay-per-view.
Yeah. So
the longer matches were on the pay-per-view. This is where the fans today don't fucking get it. When WWE couldn't figure out how to do creative anymore, they did longer matches. Just to fill up the time. And these newer fans are like, oh wow, this is what it's all about. Like, no, that's not really what it was all about. You've been desensitized to that because that's what they did to cover up the fact that they couldn't book storylines anymore for everybody. Mm-hmm. But you know what I mean?
Right.
Squash. You mean a higher tier wrestler beating a lower tier? Oh, what a novel fucking concept. Heartbeats. Yeah, exactly, right? Internet wrestling idiocy. Dude, I see it all day long.
And you go back and you look at WWF from the 80s up until the Attitude Era started kicking off. It was all mostly squash matches.
Right.
You know, all the big stuff happened, Saturday Night Main Event, the pay-per-views, and occasionally, maybe to some of the shows, you got like a big match in the main event.
Got Jesus in the chat. Really quick, let's go to Hockey Fan. Elise Taker doesn't talk shit about Goldberg. I know the documentary, they said they just had a bad day at the office. Yeah, because what happened was, when that match fell apart, they wrapped it up. Goldberg apologized to Undertaker. Undertaker and Goldberg are friends. Allegedly, they're friends.
Yeah.
So, of course, they apologized to each other, and Undertaker was pissed off, but Goldberg should have been pissed off, too. He probably was. But he can't say nothing at that point, because he just came back. Oh, man, the fans today would hate the Attitude Era because of the match lengths and the actual storyline. Yeah, exactly. The fans today just don't get it.
Yeah.
They don't understand why this product is popular. It was off the back of the Attitude Era.
The reason you have short matches is because you're trying to build the big guy up to be the big star. And you want
the guy you get behind to be a winner. You want him to win a match. So you give him freaking random wrestlers or whatever. You want.
All right, we're not talking about
squash.
squashes anymore. Fuck that shit. We're just talking about the fans trying to understand like the fact that these matches they were used to build up a pay-per-view and character development.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Because to build that up, you need to do those kinds of matches.
And by the way, who cared about like Big Boss Man versus Al Snow? So it went two fucking minutes on Raw. Who cares?
Something for them to do. That was for them at that point to get them a paycheck. Like, you know.
You had the NWO on TV opening the show for fucking 2.5 hours. They opened up the entire show. Hogan's in the ring and all this shit. Brother, I'm the champion, brother. I won't put anybody over, brother. And meanwhile, on the other channel, you already had 6 fucking matches.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And again, it wasn't really about matches. It was about kicking ass. And everything had a story to it.
Yeah.
So I don't understand. I don't know where these people get this shit from. Where they got to watch a match for 45 minutes on fucking cable TV. Dude, if I got to sit through a Roman Reigns match that's 45 minutes long, that goes through like 10 commercial breaks, yo, you lost me once the shit hits a commercial one time.
Dude, the opener.
Because I could just go back at like fucking 10:59 and see him fucking raise his hand with the belts, and then I'm like, all right, he won.
The third hour of Raw nowadays is literally one match. Like, they make sure to fill up that 1 hour.
They got to go back to 2 hours. And I don't know if they can ever go back to 2 hours because they got too many people working there.
Yeah, like, you would have to do a 1 hour show every week. A 2 hour show every week.
That's the thing. That 3 hour thing burns everybody out. 2 hours doesn't get everybody on TV. But back in the day, you see, here's the thing now. That's another thing. Back in the day, you had to earn to get on the pay-per-view. You had to earn to get on TV.
Yeah.
Now they throw everybody on TV. They throw everyone on pay-per-view. And it fucking dilutes the product. And then these guys get injured. And then when there's a spot open, those guys are injured. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like, you have the same.
Then they're doing shit like, look at this Elias guy. They're doing this shit where he's got, like, his whole family is at the hospital with him, and it's all him. They're doing, like, the Nutty Professor shit with this guy. It's like, this guy, there's no fucking point to this guy anymore. You killed him. Do you think Stone Cold goes to the hospital, and then his whole family is him as Nutty Professor? You killed Steve Austin. That guy could never be the world champion. He's dead.
No.
He's done. Can you imagine if that was Hulk Hogan? He goes to the hospital, and then all his whole family's there. They all got the fucking mustaches. They're like, hey, brother. Hey, what's up, brother? Hey, I'm here, brother. You need a kidney transplant, brother? Brother. Hogan would have been dead. Would have killed his character. And I can't believe they're still doing this Elias shit. Just get him off TV. He looks like a human Simpson, this guy. He looks horrible. Get him out of there.
Don't know what you would do with the guy. Every time you give some... The only guy ever...
That was a Vince storyline. Get rid of it.
Like, the only guy who was ever over with the guitar was the...
Elias died a long time ago, says Jesus. Yeah, we all know that, but I don't know why they're... And that's another thing, too. Like, you know, our buddy Kenny Omega guy, he thinks if you're on TV, you're getting over. Mm-hmm. And it's like, that's not the way that it fucking works, my man. That is not the way that this shit works.
They put you on
You're on TV to fill the fucking time because they don't know what the hell to do.
Exactly.
So what, Elias is going to be McFoley with all the alter egos? Yeah, but he's worse than Foley because he's got no charisma and he's got like 25 alter egos.
And it makes sense.
They had him dressed up as an old man to be his dad. with the fucking piss cup in his hand at the hospital.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck is this shit? Just get it off TV. You killed the guy. He's done. You shaved the guy's beard in the beginning because you had to get rid of the fact that he was Elias.
Mm-hmm.
Now they're just bringing the shit back. He's wearing a fake beard now. You can clearly see it's taped to his face.
Yeah.
This shit is just stupid.
At least Foley made sense because of all the crazy shit he did.
Well, Foley was 3 different guys. Foley wasn't his whole fucking family doing the fucking fart jokes at the fucking buffet over here. Like the clumps over there.
Yeah.
He was Mick Foley, he wasn't Eddie Murphy. This guy Elijah's trying to be Eddie Murphy, but he's not funny.
No.
Kenny Omega guy, the legend. Yeah, he didn't see the Summer of Punk, and he's telling me CM Punk's overrated. And I'm like, dude, he was the next guy.
That summer.
Well, I don't see that.
That summer is what made me love.
But he
Punk.
thinks Elias is the next guy.
Yeah.
Oh, he's entertaining. He's entertaining. Oh, he does. He's on TV doing concerts. Like, yeah, he's got to fill the time. Oh no, they don't put you on TV just for that. Yes, they fucking do. If you have a pulse, they're gonna throw your ass on TV.
They gotta get their money's worth.
If they were really gonna
They
do
signed
something with
him.
Elias, they would have turned around and fucking start giving him matches, start giving him the belts, start building him up, make him a superstar. They're not doing that.
They haven't given him one belt. How long has he been with the company?
He probably has had the 24/7 title at one point.
Yeah, like that means fucking something.
They already got. I think they're scrapping that belt too. By the way,
They are. They're gonna. It's just gonna disappear.
I think it has already.
It's a stupid belt. It's the fucking hardcore title without the fucking
Without the hardcore,
Yeah.
it's a softcore title.
off-core title. So everybody calls it.
Of course, he said he's overrated. Yeah, yeah.
I
He
didn't-
was trying to tell me and Frank the other day.
Mhm.
He's like, I really don't see what the big deal is with CM Punk, and he always looks like he's drowned out, and he looks like he hasn't slept, and he just looks horrible. I was like, but he's always looked like that. That's the gimmick. And he's like, I don't see the appeal. And I'm just thinking, yeah, if he was in WWE, he'd fucking kiss his butt too.
Listen, I'll be honest with you. Like when
Kenny Omega guy, he don't want to say it, but he's a WWE fucking bootlicker.
when Punk.
He's
first
like one of
came
those
on
PlayStation fanboy guys. It's like, oh, I'm not a PlayStation fanboy, but I only buy PlayStation.
like before I knew about Ring of Honor and the indies and stuff like that, which back in those days Ring of Honor was like the only indie. Like I didn't know anything about CM Punk. When I saw CM Punk for the first time, I didn't like him. I thought he was a bootleg freaking guy. I didn't care about him. But later down the line, when
Well,
that whole
nobody knew
Summer
what the
of Punk-
fuck that meant. CM Punk. They're like, oh, because I used to read reports like CM Punk. I'm like,
Yeah.
what the fuck is a CM Punk? What does his name stand for?
Mhm.
And then when he came to WWE, it was like, all right, now I know what this guy looks like. And he was cutting the promos. I don't drink. I don't drive.
I don't go to the bathroom.
I don't go to the drive-through. I don't go to my friend's house. Like, this guy doesn't do shit. And I'm like, all right, well, let's see what he does in the ring. He had an impressive debut against Just Incredible in ECW, and it was like, all right,
Mhm.
this guy's all right with me. But then they tried having him. I remember the guy Nick I did AoX with in the beginning.
Yeah.
He was like, because they threw CM Punk in the middle of his first feud was with Mike Knox with Kelly Kelly,
Yeah, I remember that.
and Kelly Kelly was flirting with him on ECW, and this guy Nick goes, they're gonna have Kelly Kelly have sex with him and ruin his gimmick. It was just the dumbest thing. It was like it was a really stupid storyline to put this guy in, but hey, man, he made it work.
He did.
Elias would have the belt by now. Says Jesus.
He would have
It's
had any
literally his fucking gimmick.
something.
Keep him away from Punk shit with Raven. Yeah, right? Yeah, there's a lot I try to tell this guy. This is what Kenny Omega guy does. You tell him something, and then he's like, yeah, he's really over. Like, he just, like, brings reality to the conversation, and you're like, he's good like that. He's good at twisting reality.
Yeah.
You just, like, you tell him all these things about CM Punk, and he's like, but really, what has he done? And then I'm like, what else do you want me to tell you?
Guys, I'll tell you this right now.
Well, if he's done so well, why did he leave? Why did he do this? Why did he do that? And it's like, you try to tell him everything, and then he just hits you with reality, and you're like, I don't know what else to tell you.
If you want to find out why these people are such a big deal, go on the WWE network.
Yeah, but he's got a preconceived notion that this guy was never good. He didn't even watch the Summer of Punk.
You want to know some, like, okay, the reason too, like, I refer back a lot to old wrestling, obviously, stuff I've never grew up with.
Right.
My grandparents, your parents, your grandparents, they grew up with Bruno in the WWF, Bruno Sammartino.
No, motherfucker, my great-grandparents grew up with Bruno Sammartino, and that's a shoot.
You know.
My great-grandparents used to go to the Garden to fucking watch Bruno. Because they were all Italian, and all the Italians went over there to watch that guy.
And you know, I played a game called Legends of Wrestling 2, and I saw the Bruno Sammartino interview, and I was like, you know what? My grandpa liked this guy, my grandmother liked this guy, whatever. I'm going to go back and watch some of his matches. You know, I did, and I was like, you know what? I see why Bruno was such a big deal back in the day, so I have an appreciation for him.
You know what's funny about Bruno Sammartino? Fun fact, he outlived all his fans.
He did. He did. He outlived half the wrestlers he fought. It's crazy. Like, you know why he was a big deal if you look back at his stuff. But today, people don't want to look back at anything or do anything, or they just like, oh, well, fuck that guy.
Boy, I wonder what's up in the chat.
And CM Punk is a more recent thing. Why, you know,
CM Punk was the next Steve Austin, but he got caught in the crosshairs of Triple H. This is the problem with Triple H, okay? And this is why these guys, the internet's kissing his butt. You see SpongeBob bowing down to a picture of Triple H on Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone thinks this guy is great because he booked NXT, which he really didn't book it single-handed. People think Triple H went into a room, his office on a Friday night, came on Sunday with the script for NXT. He had Regal, he had Road Dogg, he had Shawn Michaels, he had other guys help him book fucking NXT. People think that this guy sat in a room all by himself and did the whole show.
Mm-hmm.
And then I hear this thing too. And really quick, let me wrap up the Triple H thing. Triple H has always been jealous of people that aren't named Triple H.
Yeah.
We've seen that over the years. He hated Cena. He hated Rock. He wanted to fire all those guys. Guess what? They were all bigger than him. They all ended up becoming bigger stars than him.
Yeah. Triple H was always the secondary guy.
Edge was another guy, too.
Yeah, Edge.
He was burying Edge in the booking meetings. That's why Edge always took shots at him.
Mm-hmm. All the WCW guys that came in, Booker T, Scott Steiner.
Killed all those guys, man.
Goldberg.
I try to nudge Marcus into watching WCW. He really doesn't have any interest. Really? The old WCW? Why not? The guy who works with the guy, exactly.
Yeah, he was always the secondary guy. Like, people don't realize that.
Did Cena slap his wife's ass on TV? Yeah, and Vince told him to do that. So if you want the Vince McMahon DVD, I mean, if you want to pick that up, they talk about Vince wanting to do an incest storyline with Stephanie. Because Stephanie was pregnant at the time. And she says on the DVD, she's like, I shot that down immediately. Vince wanted to do a storyline where he got Stephanie pregnant. It's on the fucking DVD. I'm not making that shit up.
Yeah.
And I'm glad they didn't go through with that because that would have been fucking...
That would have ruined the fucking...
Horrible,
company.
disgusting, all the above. He's mostly a ruthless aggression indie mark. I don't know, man. I think you got to go back to the attitude. If it wasn't for Attitude, he wouldn't have had Ruthless. How much crack did Vince snort? According to his documentary that Netflix was making, he snorted a lot of crack. They were going to put scenes of him snorting cocaine in it. I'm not even kidding. This is what we read online.
Oh, God.
And Netflix fucking crumpled that documentary up. They spent millions of dollars on that one. It was going to be ready by next year. But the minute that all this stuff came out recently, they crumpled it up and threw it right in the garbage.
Yeah.
Canceled. That's been known for years. Yeah. So anyway, if Triple H can... If he's changed and he could stay out of his own way, if he can let these guys be super... I mean, look, he put the brakes on CM Punk. We all know that.
Mm-hmm.
This guy has a problem with other people. I don't know why. Or he did. And it ruined it for the fan base. I don't think the guy realizes that. Like, yeah, he's in the industry and he did what he had to do for him, but he doesn't realize he fucked it up for a lot of the fans.
Yeah.
So, but yes, the fan base, I don't know, they're kissing his butt. They want all these things done. He can't do all this stuff overnight. I think eventually things will get done. Mm-hmm. I think under his watch, like I said, if he's changed and he can get out of his own way, I think he's going to be very successful with WWE.
You know,
but if he can't, if he hasn't changed and he can't get out of his own way and he can't push the right talent and he can't step back and say, okay, this might be the next guy. Jamie, take care, buddy. Thanks for being in here tonight.
Thanks, man.
He's going to be his own worst enemy.
You know, I think, like, if any time it is for Triple H to freaking, like, grow up out of his ego is now.
Because now has to.
Part of the company.
He's the head of the. He's the guy.
You know, like he's no longer a performer, so like maybe his mindset will change. And going back to like,
would hope so.
The belt thing, real quick. If anything, I would think Triple H would be the guy to bring back the world title, the big gold, if they were going to use that belt again for something. And I would
I mentioned this to Kenny Omega guy. I said, all right, boy, one to take care, buddy. The idiotic daughter and doofus son-in-law have a chance, says Jesus. I told Kenny Omega, I was like, I don't know why the NXT title just wasn't the WCW World title, like the World Heavyweight Championship. He's like, why would they do that? That's stupid. I was like, because the belt has lineage, and you're trying to put somebody over in developmental. That's the belt. Be like, hey, that's the former World Heavyweight Champion, fucking Rex Steiner. Which I hope they change his fucking name again.
Yeah.
Braun Breaker's got to go. But Rex Steiner, great. Hey, Steiner, he did what his uncle did. He won the World Heavyweight Championship. He's got that lineage now. Because that belt had lineage. If you would have given it to guys in developmental, already, it's like strapping a rocket on them.
Giving them the world
title. They defend the title or whatever. They've already had a prestigious belt. They come to the main roster and be like, yo, I'm the former World Heavyweight Champion. I want the WWE title now.
Right.
Boom. You got a built-in feud with whoever.
Skyrocket them, like you said.
But they didn't do that. And this guy's like, why would they do that? That's so stupid. It's like, dude, you don't get it. You don't get the lineage of what they used to do.
Mm-hmm.
It's about making these guys look better. The guy comes to the main roster like, hey guys, I was the NXT champion. I'm here for no title. I'm here to hope to get an opportunity to get a shot at a title.
I mean, fuck, the U.S. title is like the only title that has any lineage left on the fucking...
Well, Intercontinental does, but the belt looks like shit. The U.S. title looks like shit, too. The U.S. title is basically that ECW belt they made. They just painted it gold.
Yeah. You know, there's like fan reproductions of the new US title, and it's actually like looks good because they colored it properly, but you got a US title that's like red and white and that's it, and it's gold.
Yeah, it's just stupid. I like
But,
the WCW US title.
yeah, I like that too.
They brought it over to WWE and they put the stickers on it.
Mhm.
And I'm like, this belt looks like shit.
You know, too, getting a little bit of gaming real quick. So SmackDown Shut Your Mouth. Before there's a guy right now who's like creating like a mod for Shut Your Mouth. And he found like a bunch of these demos and tech demos and shit like that. And he found code for that when they were gonna put the WCW like titles were gonna be in the game. Like they were gonna have the world title, the US title, all those titles. So that, for the year 2001, because that was all the stuff that happened. He found the WWF logos. He found all this stuff. So I just thought that was kind of interesting. And he's working on the game right now, and he's trying to like create like the definitive SmackDown Shut Your Mouth, whatever. So it's kind of cool. He found a model too for Scott Hall. They did an official model for Scott Hall.
Wow.
That never made the game, which is pretty cool. He's gonna put that in there and everything.
Kenny had the winged eagle coming to him soon. I had the WWF title, the Attitude title. I got that belt when I had to pre-order that belt. I got it in 2001.
Mm-hmm.
Still have it. It's all beat up though. I'd like to get it again, but I want the F on it.
Yeah.
So I got to figure out where I can find that.
You gotta go with
Because
those.
they do sell them, but they sell them just with the WW, and I'm like, I don't want that.
You gotta go overseas, get them. I've asked people that like own feds and stuff. Like, hey, where do you get your belts from? They're like, yeah, we get them from overseas. And I'm like, oh well, I guess that's the only choice we have.
Yeah, I got the WCW title last year after 20 fucking years of waiting.
Yeah. Well, you can get that belt pretty much anywhere because it doesn't have a logo on it.
No, I know. I'm just saying though. Like, I never wanted another belt, and one day I was like, hey, you know what? The 2 belts from the Attitude Era, I'll get those.
Yeah.
I never got the Smoking Skull belt. That belt's pretty cool.
Yeah. There's a couple belts that I would like to get from the Attitude Era. European title, though, that was my favorite belt design.
Well, now that they shut down, Triple H is such a great guy that he fired all these fucking people from NXT UK and you didn't hear about it.
Yeah, right.
On Twitter, it's release. And you don't hear, oh man, why didn't Triple H give these people jobs? It was like, hey, Shawn Michaels got promoted. Let's make Papa H look good and just say everybody got promoted. I want the Attitude belt, says Hockey Fan, and the Smoking Skull actual replica. And then he cursed and deleted his tweet. Well, there you go. Yeah, I want to get the Smoking Skull with the F on it.
Yeah.
But they don't officially sell it anymore, so I don't know what the hell's going on. Anyway, I think those things are cool, those belts. The WCW one's just been sitting in the bag. I looked at it like once or twice when I first got it. I just put it back in the closet.
I thought all the belts back in the 90s were cool. Like WWF's belts were cool. Fucking WCW had all the cool belts.
I would say the biggest start is fix the Fed, do what you got to do, and I would change the titles back.
Mm-hmm.
I only have the plastic Smoking Skull belt with the F. Yeah, I had one of those a long time ago, back in like 99, 2000. Mm-hmm. I have the plastic Smoking Skull. You're right. The little toy belt.
Toy belts.
Like I said, they know what they got to do. They got to get their house in order. I think they're doing a good job with the women. I heard that Bayley and her crew showed up on SmackDown. They're not supposed to be on SmackDown.
Mm-hmm.
But they showed up on SmackDown and they're picking a feud with everybody. And I'm like, all right, that's kind of cool. They showed up with their ticket. Like the NWO. So, Yeah, I'm sitting back. I'm not watching the show, but I'm looking and seeing what they're doing. I see the clips on Twitter, and I'm like, all right. I think they need to figure out what they're doing with the main attraction. Are you going to keep going with Roman Reigns? Are you going to put someone else in that spot? Are you going to start building up new stars? I mean, what are you doing?
At this point,
We're going to find out. This stuff takes time. They can't just do this shit overnight.
At this point, we're looking at almost 10 years that Roman's been in the company. I would think it's some time for like Roman to put somebody new over, you know. Usually with WWE after like 5 years.
I think Vince was going to have Austin Theory beat him.
Yeah.
Whether that was the right thing or not, I think, here's the thing. I think that was the right call for one reason. Vince was putting the shine on a new guy.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if he was doing that because he knew that was going to be like the last guy that he was going to be able to run with. I don't know. But a lot of people say, oh, he doesn't deserve it right now or whatever. Why the fuck not? It's fucking wrestling. Who cares?
Right.
He's been on the main roster since day one on the main roster. He's been like with Vince. You knew he was going to be a big deal.
Granted, some of the segments were stupid, but hell...
Yeah, the segments are dumb because it's Vince booking it, but he's with the boss since he got to the main roster. And it's like, finally, at least he brought somebody up that he's not fucking over right now.
Ooh, what was the thing back in the day? Don't let Vince see you in fucking catering or whatever.
Right. And this guy he brought up, and he was like, you know what? You're going to be my next guy.
It's the closest a guy's gotten to Vince.
I just got to figure out when I'm going to have you cash your briefcase in. And now he's gone, and who knows if they're going to keep that plan. I don't think they're going to keep that plan. Should they keep it? I think so. Have him win the world title. Fuck it. And then somebody comes out and they beat him for it.
Yeah.
Or maybe he could win the world title as a heel and maybe start a fucking feud with somebody and then lose the world title at some point. What a concept.
Right.
They gave the belt to crappier people, man.
They have.
This is a young guy. Well, just make him a star. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't.
It's a fresh start for something. I mean, he has, like, he's pretty decent, like, as a talker. He's good in the ring. I mean, you never know. And if worse comes to fucking worse, you just put the belt back on the guy that worked or something. Yeah, it's
not the end of the world.
It's what they do.
That's what WWE, they always thought that was going to be the end of the world. If they take the title off somebody and then put it on someone else, it's like you can always put it back on. It's not a big deal. I believe there's one credible person to finally beat Roman. Do not say The Rock. Because what's Rock going to do with the title?
He's won it like 3 other times before since he's been back.
Yeah, man.
He really won't do anything. I mean,
look, if they want to sell WrestleMania tickets, they're going to do Rock and Roman. But what's Rock going to do with the title?
Yeah.
Because if Roman's fighting Rock, Rock's losing.
Yeah, that's what I would think. Like, it's to pass the torch in some way.
Man, Rock is passing the torch like 10 times already.
And he has.
Well, who is your guy?
Who?
Jesus said that it's not The Rock. Who's this guy? Brock Lesnar? Again?
Okay.
The who? Who is that?
The who?
Oh, Cody Rhodes. Nah, you don't want fucking Cody Rhodes. He's a big fart.
Man, if you put it on Cody to give it to
I
Theory,
think Cody was going to get it this year, but then he got injured. We don't know if he was even going to get it this year. I don't know if that's going to happen. That's like... It's like when I guess when Goldberg beat Brock, because everyone thought Goldberg was going to do the job.
Yeah.
I don't know. It could still happen. I don't know. Triple H is running the show, man, and that guy had a fucking big beef with Triple H, so I don't know. They say they made up and everything, but this guy Triple H never forgets, man.
I feel like if they gave Cody the belt, he'd be a transitional champion. Have it for like a month or something, and then give it to whoever.
The problem with Cody is he's got to keep getting over, and he was over like Rover until he got hurt.
Yeah.
If he comes back, it depends on how they push this guy. Because, again, Vince was pushing him because Vince was like, I got one of the founders of AEW. Is Triple H going to have the same thought process with that?
Mm-hmm.
Now, you think you'll ever see Austin against the Triple H is taking over? That's something that we talked about a while ago. We were like, okay, does Rock come back? Does Austin come back? Because Austin always said he was always doing he would only do WWE shows because of Vince. Because he felt he owed him money. So, money.
He owed him money.
He owed him money. Vince owes everybody else money. No, he felt that he owed him for basically making his career and making him a lot of money.
Yeah.
So he felt like he owed him that. I don't know if he has the same allegiance to the family. I guess we'll find out.
Yeah.
I'm sure Austin wanted Jim Ross to call his final match this year. I don't know. I don't know if that matters to these guys anymore or what. I think if Triple H was smart, he would keep using Stone Cold. Brings money in.
Yeah.
Even if he doesn't wrestle, obviously. I mean, Austin said he's ready for another match. If it's like the Owens match, he's ready for another one. But even if he's just a host of WrestleMania, that's going to draw people in. You'd be stupid not to use Rock. He's the biggest star in fucking Hollywood for the last 10 years. Again, he doesn't even need to work. You can have him host WrestleMania. And here's the thing. I don't mind if these guys work matches.
Yeah.
A lot of people are fucking... Look, they're not Ric Flair. They're not like fucking 99 years old and they're fucking ready to drop dead and they're doing matches. That's where you draw the line, okay? Yeah. But if these guys are... Like, look at Rock. He could go. He could go tomorrow. Goldberg can go tomorrow. Austin, he had the t-shirt on or whatever. That's fine. Sting is fucking jumping off ladders and shit in AEW. Sting's wrestling like you would wrestle in ECW. As long as these guys can go, man, why the fuck not? It's wrestling. Who cares? It doesn't have to be serious all the time. You don't have to have fucking...
It doesn't. You do some like...
You don't have to have fucking 20-year-olds in the ring all day long. You can have the legends come in for a couple of matches. Yeah. And this bullshit. Oh, they're going to take a spot off the card. WrestleMania is fucking 3 nights now, or 2.5 nights, whatever the hell it is. There's plenty of fucking room for everybody. And by the way, those guys are bringing people into the building to look at your ass. Because you motherfuckers ain't bringing nobody in the building. People aren't going to WrestleMania to fucking see Elias. But if you put Steve Austin's picture on the stadium and put WrestleMania 40s, Stone Cold Steve Austin, they're going to be like, yo, that's Stone Cold, we're going to go. They put WrestleMania 40, they put Elias' face on there, and be like, who the fuck is that guy? I'm not watching that shit.
My thing, like, what if Austin became like a regular commentator?
He doesn't want to do that. He already said he doesn't want to do commentary. He would have been good at it.
I think so. I think it would have been cool to just see Austin on commentary.
You know what it is? I think he's part of the crew that if I can't wrestle, I don't want to be near it.
Yeah.
Because these guys miss it.
Mm-hmm.
Can't blame them.
No.
There's some guys that they don't care, that they just want to be involved. And then you got some guys that are like, yeah, you know what? I can't do it anymore. I don't need to be here. I'll go home.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, Austin wants to do one more. Shit, let him.
Doesn't matter how old Austin will be whenever he comes back. He'll get the biggest pop over anyone. Period. Exactly. Dude, he was the guy. He was the guy, man. You went from Hogan to Austin. You went from Bruno to Hogan to Austin. And Austin shares some of that with Rock. But Rock's pops have never been as big as maybe when he came back 10 years ago. Remember he came back and the place went nuts?
He came back. Yeah, it was some pretty good. Yeah.
But that was because people were just excited to see Rock. You see our latest episode, it was Austin themed. I haven't seen it yet.
Did. I saw it.
What'd you think?
It was pretty funny. Freaking Kenny and Marcus were making they were doing like Austin impressions and stuff like that. It was kind of funny.
Yeah, I gotta check that out. That's funny. Good old Steve Austin. But they gotta figure out what they're gonna do with the legends. That's another thing. I know a lot of these fucking people online are like, don't bring anybody back, that's old. It's like, go fuck yourselves.
And they don't have a lot of legends really to work with to begin with.
You gotta bring in legends because you gotta get people like me to fucking watch.
Yeah.
Now, does that mean Goldberg has to be on TV every fucking week? No. It just means, hey, Goldberg's gonna be on. Here's the thing, and this is the fans don't fucking understand this shit. And some of the wrestlers don't understand it either. You have Legends Night so people look at the fucking product that's going on right now.
Right.
Stone Cold and Hulk Hogan are going to be on Raw Monday night. You know the fucking average fans like, oh my god, they're going to take a spot from everybody, right? But you're getting the people that used to watch, you're going to be like, holy shit, Hulk Hogan and Stone Cold are going to be on Raw?
And then you see the new guy.
Let me watch that shit. Austin comes out, he says, hey, later tonight, you're going to see Hulk Hogan, and that's the bottom line because Stone Cold said so. In the meantime, you got fucking matches.
Yeah.
You're going to stick around to wait for the next guy, the next legend, Hulk Hogan in this example. In between waiting, you're going to see the new guys featured, and you can be like, all right, it's like sampling the product.
Yeah.
You're going to be like, all right, that guy looks cool, and you're going to be like, this shit sucks. But there's a chance that you'll see it, like what you see, and stick around. That's what these guys are brought in for, and I don't understand why people on the internet don't get that. They're just fucking stupid. Like, these people are fucking nuts.
That's always been how wrestling was. It's a generational thing. Like, I watched wrestling with my uncle and my dad, and my uncle and his dad, my grandfather, he watched wrestling when my uncle was watching it. It's a passing down thing, and it really wasn't until I feel like these recent times, these last like 15, 20 years, where really people don't do that anymore. That type of thing, you know. Now it's just like, oh, fuck the old guys or whatever. It's like, I don't like that whole idea. I don't like that whole thing, and I think people in the business too kind of have that mentality where like, oh, fuck these guys. They don't wrestle anymore, so they don't mean anything in the business anymore.
Yeah, I don't like that. I think that's stupid.
There are guys in the indies and all these places that think like that. They're like, yeah, I don't want Ricky.
Yeah, because they don't understand. They were trained, and Triple H was the fucking cause of this whole thing. This whole part-timer thing. Remember that?
Yeah.
Because Rock was coming back, and Triple H was telling the young guys, hey, he's a part-timer. And then that's the biggest fucking thing we still hear to this day. Oh, he's a part-timer. Don't let him in. Oh, he's a part-timer. Oh, he's a part-timer. It's like, who the fuck cares? It's fucking wrestling. It's a fake fucking show. It's like a TV show.
Mm-hmm.
That's like if you have a special guest. What's a popular show right now? Stranger Things. Say you bring in a guest. Say you bring in Tom Cruise. And he's only there for 2 episodes. You think the kids at Stranger Things are like, he's a part-timer. He shouldn't even fucking be here. Fuck this guy.
They're working with Tom Cruise.
He's bringing eyeballs to the fucking TV show, dickhead. Just like when Rock came back. Hey, he's a part-timer. Don't let this part-timer... Hey, he's bringing eyeballs to you. But the fans fucking believe this shit. They think that this shit's like holy Bible bullshit.
Yeah.
I'm like, guys, you gotta stop this stuff. Stop saying that shit. It's like a fucking TV show, my man. You bring these guys back to get eyeballs on the show. It's called promotion. You know, like the W's on the belts that they send to the fucking Buffalo Bills, even though they'll never win a Super Bowl in 1,000 years or whatever. It's promotion. What's that? Are we going to hear like Kofi Kingston go, hey, you know what? Triple H sent the Buffalo Bills the WWE title. I've been here for fucking 10 years. I still haven't gotten the title yet. Even though he got the title, but I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Are we going to do that now? Is that going to be a thing? Is Elias going to be like, hey, he sent the fucking Giants the fucking WWE title, and I've been here, and I haven't won the title yet, and that's bullshit? Come on. Stupid.
Yeah. It's such a...
Hockey fan says, you need the legends. I literally only watch when Goldberg comes back or Austin at Mania. So that's why I watch WrestleMania, because my wife got Peacock for $4.99 or whatever the fuck it is to watch Desperate Housewives or something. Or Orange County Housewives. I don't fucking know what the hell she's watching.
Orange County Housewives.
And she said she had it. I was like, I heard Austin's going to be on there. Maybe I'll check it out. And we watched it both nights. And it was good. I thought it was... I thought the... I couldn't stand the show, but I loved the Stone Cold stuff. The show was fucking annoying. There was a million commercials during WrestleMania. It was bad.
Yeah.
Like, it has... Remember when, like, Vince McMahon would talk about how, like, corporate wrestling and all this shit, and Turner was corporate wrestling, and it doesn't need to be involved in wrestling? He doubled down on that so much. It's fucking ridiculous.
You're on the WWE Network watching WrestleMania, and then it cuts. It's like, you're watching on the WWE Network. Or whatever.
Yeah.
Why the fuck is this coming out? Why can't I just watch WrestleMania uninterrupted?
But I'll tell you what, hockey fan, I've been so uninterested. Like, Goldberg fought a few guys like Dolph Ziggler. I watched it for the first time like a month ago on YouTube, the match. It's like, I skipped those matches. I didn't even care. I was so done with WWE, I was like, I don't even give a fuck.
It doesn't lead to anything. Like, that's why you don't watch it.
But
like,
I
okay,
see what he's saying, though, because I'm the same way. If I hear, like I just said, I heard Stone Cold was going to be at WrestleMania. I was like, all right, let's check it out.
Yeah.
And then I heard he was going to be on both nights, so I was like, all right, well, I got to watch it now, see what's up. And good thing I did, because that was it, man.
Yeah.
At the end of the second night, he goes out there, and he confronts Vince, and I'm like, are they going to finally do Austin and Vince at WrestleMania? And they didn't do the match, but... And then Vince took his last stunner. It was a piece of shit.
Yeah.
But I was like, this could be it, man. And then when he came out, and he's like right standing in front of Vince, I was like, oh shit, they're going to do the match.
Yeah.
They're going to do Austin and McMahon finally at WrestleMania. And they didn't fucking do it, but that's the last time you're probably going to see them in the ring together, interacting.
Hey, Vince is not coming back. It's not happening. Like, you're never going to see it. So
I know.
That moment, my man, cherish it, because Vince he's gone. That's it.
Buy that Blu-ray like I did.
Yeah.
The Austin match and the Boneyard match are probably WWE's best matches in the past few years.
Yeah.
That's true.
Be honest.
It's too bad they didn't do that match with Sting, the Boneyard shit.
Yeah. That's a match we've all been waiting for like the longest. That's another match we're never going to see. So going to have to watch Dice Morgan versus Sting on WCW Saturday night. I mean, that's the bit closest you're going to get to Undertaker versus Sting.
Dice Morgan.
Or whatever his name was.
So circling back to look, I think WWE will be okay with Triple H. I think he's just got to find where he's got to be. And I think he'll be all right, but look, the shareholders want to sell the company immediately, so he might not even be around that long to.
They might want him out. They might be like, "All of you, get the hell out of here. We're getting new people."
They want to sell the company now because they're afraid all this shit's going to come out and drop the stock price. So I mean, look, it doesn't mean it's going to sell tomorrow, but it could.
Mm-hmm.
And he'll be out of the position depending on, like you said, if the new owners want to keep the McMahon family involved or not. We have to see. It's going to be interesting for sure. Definitely keep your eye on what's going on. Yeah, it's a transitional period for sure. Probably in more ways than one, because if they sell and he's in the middle of like fixing all this shit, you got to go through it all over again.
If there's a time to watch, I guess, and to see stuff improve, I think the time is now. And again, it's not going to happen overnight.
I'm still going to wait a little bit. I'm going to read the reports. I'm going to watch the clips online.
Yeah, yeah.
And see if it's worth my time anymore. Because I really haven't been watching Raw for years.
Me neither.
I don't even know who the fuck the announcers are. When I was watching the pay-per-view, I was like, there's some bald guy. And I was like, who the fuck is this guy? I was like, where's Lawler? They got rid of Lawler? And it's like, yeah, he's on the pre-show. And so I don't know. But we have to wait and see with that one. I think either way, I think they'll be okay. Vince McMahon had to go.
Yeah.
His booking was fucking atrocious. It was horrible. We even said it on this show several times. We were like, yo, the guy's got to have like dementia or something. And it came out, you know, this is what I read online. I don't know if it's true, but apparently one of the writers said that they would tell him, like, yo, we did this match last week. And he'd be like, no, we didn't. So that's why probably we got the same matches 85 times a fucking week. I don't know.
Yeah.
But the guy had to go. Anybody was better than it. That's why Tony Khan was whooping ass. Because it wasn't Vince McMahon. But with Triple H, I think this whole... I think Tony Khan has taken this crazy. I think he went nuts. Because AEW is in big trouble right now. Their locker room is in disarray. It's like fucking WCW all over again. We said that earlier in the show tonight, but it really is. And Tony Khan's got to put his foot down, and he needs to say, all right, shit ends now.
Yeah.
We got a job to do here. There's a rumor that this guy was walking around comparing himself to Paul Heyman. It's like, what the fuck is this guy talking about?
I don't know. I hope that's like a fucking bootleg store. Oh, that's bogus. You know, sometimes these...
Man, I don't know. I hope so.
People like to say stuff to stir stuff up. But...
I couldn't even tell you who the champions are. Says hockey fan. Haven't watched Raw in years. I don't know. Triple H might turn it around. He just needs to not have his ego getting away. Agreed. 100%. He just got to make it fun for the fan base, man.
That's it.
He's got to right the wrongs he's done over the years. And by that I mean, like, you know, like we talked about earlier, all the WCW guys that came in, he buried them. You know, he made a fun time, not fun.
Yeah.
And I know all these motherfuckers today, oh, NXT, black and gold and all that. Yo, motherfucker, what about the Attitude Era, okay? What about 20 years ago? This guy was running roughshod all over the roster. Mm-hmm. And we were like, come on, we want Booker T to win. We want these guys to win. We want that guy to win. He took away a lot of good matches from us.
He did. And a lot of guys quit the business because of it.
Yeah.
Too.
He told that guy tough enough. He's like, get the fuck out of here. Don't waste our fucking time. Remember that? And the guy fucking quit tough enough. The guy was like, I just want to get married. I don't know if I want this. Well, he scared that guy out of business.
Yeah.
That's not cool, man.
Guys that were in
Look, I'm not in the
WCW
business. I just watch this shit on TV, so I'm just a fan. But I'm not one of these delusional fans online that fucking. Oh my God, he's so great because he had a good TV show. And by the way, let's clear up the mommy daddy thing. People will say Dixie Carter had daddy's money and Tony Khan has daddy's money. Well, I don't see Triple H pulling the money out of his own pocket. I think that's daddy's company, right?
Mm-hmm.
It still is daddy's company. Who's running daddy's company with daddy's money?
Yeah, right.
So can we cut the daddy narrative out there?
Well, it's always been like that. That's literally what the fucking business is all about.
I mean, the Crockett's,
Crockett's,
the McMahons. I mean,
all those guys.
all that shit was all the parents funding it. So the McMahon Helmsley era through the Evolution era was fucking hell. I agree. It was bad.
Yeah, it was.
Dude, the McMahon Helmsley thing was so bad in 2000 that I switched to Nitro. I never forget. I switched to Nitro and there was, I think it was Luger and Goldberg in some sort of a tag match. It was like a 6-man tag or something.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, yeah, I'd rather watch this. They dragged that because they were dragging it to WrestleMania. And they were trying to have the McMahons all return like month to month.
Yeah,
And it was horrible.
it was. I didn't. I wasn't even watching Raw at the time. I was watching
bad.
Nitro.
It was bad.
I was just happy.
Well,
with
whatever.
Nitro.
I mean, look. That's different. That's how a show was booked. And again, that wasn't him booking the show. That was them booking a storyline. It's just the storyline was crappy. But yeah, it just we want to talk about this stuff to air our grievances because we're seeing all the shit go down online. We're seeing AEW's locker rooms being torn apart.
Mhm.
It's like, is this shit really worth it? AEW built their company up. They're 3 years old, and all of a sudden now, the locker room's all fucking hating each other. Nobody's happy.
Everybody's fighting each other, trying to kill it. It's like, come on.
Yeah, man, keep the company going. You guys all got to work together, or guys can pack up and fucking leave.
That's it.
Have
You don't
Hangman
want
and Punk
another-
talk to each other and be like, yo, work it out. If not, we'll give one of you guys a release. Or give both of you guys a release. Get out of here.
We don't want another drought where there's no fucking wrestling on TV other than the one company. You know, we want.
If Tony Khan is fucking Paul Heyman, he can fix this shit tomorrow, right?
Right.
Crazy it's been 3 years. Marcus doesn't believe there's heat. No, there's heat. There is heat.
It's heat. There's not Sunday night heat, but there's freaking Wednesday night heat.
The company's fucked. If they keep going this way, and we talked about Tony Khan chasing down one of the announcers and begging him not to leave. The guy was going to quit. We don't know if that was Shivani or Jim Ross. We don't know who the hell that was. Maybe it was Taz.
Maybe.
Although where the fuck is Taz going to go?
AEW's got a good thing going. They got good people. Tony's just got to manage it better. He needs somebody there to help him. He needs a booker.
He needs a booker.
He needs a guy that can help him talk to the guys.
You know, they said that the plan isn't even set in stone for All Out. That's why they're doing the fucking title match next week.
Yeah.
And he has no backup plan, they said. And it's like, dude, you have a pay-per-view in a week. Or yeah, right? September 4th.
Yeah.
You don't have a backup plan? Now, I think that they have MJF coming in to fight CM Punk for the title at All Out. But they're saying, like, as of the Moxley thing, originally it was going to be Moxley and Punk at the pay-per-view, and it still is. Again, Where's the work in all this? And if you're working everybody, you're really pissing a lot of people off because the company looks like dog shit right now. If this is the work.
Right.
If this is not a work, the company looks like dog shit right now. Where's the money in all this?
Where is it?
The company's in fucking trouble. If they can't figure this shit out, it's gonna be like WCW.
Yeah.
Because
You're just gonna
WCW had the
see
same
whoever-
problems. They had fucking guys in factions backstage. They were calling HR on each other all the fucking time. Wasn't a good deal. And I can't believe this guy let this company fall apart like this. That's why I don't understand these hard-ons people have for these works. And how many of these things are actually a work? It's like the Sony guys. Oh, no, it's not coming out on Xbox. It comes out on Xbox. Oh, no, that game sucks anyway. It's literally not working out. Yeah, exactly. Keeping MJF home. Look, I talked about this earlier in the show. I think they kept MJF home because originally he was going to work with Punk this summer.
Yeah.
Punk got hurt, and they just told MJF, fuck, just stay home. We had started your angle, just stay the fuck home. I think he's going to be all out. I think he's going to challenge CM Punk. CM Punk, if he's still fucking hurt, he's probably going to drop the title to him.
Yeah.
But what they fucked up on was, while CM Punk hurt himself, bring MJF back, have him be the biggest heel all summer. Get him ready for CM Punk when CM Punk returns.
Yeah, they could.
They could have had MJF beat Moxley for the interim. And then when Punk comes back, he fights CM Punk in Chicago. And he fucking beats CM Punk.
Yeah.
And when Punk heals up, he comes back in a year or whatever, and he fucking challenges MJF again.
Yeah, you keep them on the fucking TV, you know.
But again, we can all armchair quarterback that shit all day long.
Yeah.
That might not have even been the plan. We don't know.
Yeah.
But Bischoff did the same thing, man. Him and Brian Pillman apparently were working the locker room. And look what happened. Can't work the guys in the locker room. It's not good for business.
No.
We don't know if that's the case. We don't know if that really happened, but that's what we've been hearing all these years. But you don't want AEW to do that. And it seems like they fell into all those traps.
Yeah.
I think the Cody thing originally, like I said earlier, didn't seem like it was a big deal to Tony Khan. I think he's fucking furious now. I think it's probably getting to him. And you don't want other people to leave. Look at the Bucks, man. They didn't want to put over FTR. They fucking lost to Keith Lee and Swerve, so they wouldn't have to lose the titles to FTR. And now they're going after the Trios titles because they know that FTR ain't going after them.
Yeah.
It's fucking bullshit, dude. Why'd you even bring FTR in if you're going to fucking bury him? Or try to bury him? And they're undeniable right now. You can't bury him.
We're making money. Just do
They're
what
the
you
greatest
gotta
fucking
do.
tag team they got going right now in any Fed. Name me a tag team in WWE. You can't.
Yeah.
AEW's got the best tag teams. Lucha Brothers and FTR.
They got a lot of teams. They got a lot of good. They got a good division, and they can pull from other feds and that.
But you see what I mean? Like, you don't want this to happen. You don't want the backstage guys to have factions and sides and shit.
Yeah.
Now what happens if they don't want CM Punk to come back? Then he's going to leave. We'll never see him again.
Got to figure it out. if people want the industry,
But everyone's blaming CM Punk online. Everyone's like, oh yeah, it's his fault. It's because they don't like him, because he's old.
Yeah.
And it's like, guys, you liked this guy 10 years ago when he was on top of the fucking world. Now you don't like him?
The young bucks aren't necessarily that young either.
Okay, but the Young Bucks didn't fucking have the stigma of quitting the business and doing all this shit, even though he was fired.
Right.
That's the thing. Oh, well, Punk, you quit. I know, he fucking got fired. He didn't want to work with the fucking guy who runs the company now, and that was it. It was over. But people always skip over that fact. And they do it to make the guy look bad. It's not cool. You shouldn't do that.
No. He stood up for himself. I mean, what do you want?
Yeah, well, that's the thing today. You can't stick up for yourself, or you look bad.
Yeah.
Oh, you should have taken the high road. Yeah, let somebody piss in my face. I don't understand it anymore, right? These guys don't stick up for themselves. They're pussies. They stick up for themselves. Oh, you shouldn't have done that.
Oh, you went too far. You shouldn't have.
Yeah, exactly, right?
It's like the fucking, like you always say, the bully's like pushing you in class and everything, and then fucking you knock his ass out, and then everybody's like, oh, wait, oh, you went too far. What's wrong with you? It's like the bully's been bullying me for the last 2-3 months.
The bully hits you during class. The teacher doesn't see it. You hit back, the teacher turns around, and you're in trouble.
Yeah.
I hate that mentality. But that's what's been happening a lot lately. Nobody can take a responsibility anymore, even when they're wrong. Nobody.
That's with
everybody. Even fucking adults, everybody. I see it all the time, all day long.
Yeah.
As I've gotten older, I'm like, you know what, man? If I fucked up, I fucked up. Sorry. And some people are okay with that, and other people are like, oh, you shouldn't have done that. You shouldn't have. It's like, what do you want from me? I admitted I was wrong. I apologize. I mean, it's what you should be doing. If you fuck up, you should apologize.
Yeah.
But a lot of people think if you apologize for fucking up, it makes you look even weaker. And it's like, no, it just makes you look like an asshole. So, whatever. That's a life lesson. If you did something wrong and you're really sorry about it, apologize. If you feel you've done nothing wrong to anybody, even though you did something wrong, and you shouldn't apologize, that's your problem, man. You gotta live your life. I just saw somebody burn their CM Punk. You see what I mean? Like, what is that? They're burning a Punk shirt because they want to send a message to Tony Khan to get rid of this guy. All because of Colt Cabana. Is Colt Cabana going to be fighting? So, do they want Tony Khan to say, we fired CM Punk and in his place will be Colt Cabana versus Jon Moxley on fucking Wednesday night? Is that what people want? Because then people are going, Colt Cabana, what are you pushing that guy? Well, that's the whole fucking guy. That's the guy that this whole thing started with. Mm-hmm. Allegedly, right? And why is it Punk's fault? Hangman's the one that fucking cursed him out. Hangman went into business for himself in a promo. Punk gave him a fucking receipt. But again, you're not allowed to stick up for yourself, or you're the problem. Okay. I hate that. I don't see a problem here. I think Punk was in the right. Should he professionally have gone off script? No. But again, it was a receipt back at Hangman for going off script and being unprofessional. What can you do? There is no right or wrong here. They both shouldn't have done it, but they did it. Tony Khan needs to fucking man up, grow his balls. Maybe get fucking Blue Chew or whatever. Grow his big fucking balls. Go into a meeting with them and be like, alright, shit's gotta stop. And that's it. I think these reports are getting out and all this stuff is going down backstage. I think this guy needs to fucking tighten it up.
Yeah.
He needs to go in there on Wednesday or whatever, Monday, whenever they do their meetings, and be like, yo, this shit ends now. If you want to fucking work here, you got to get along. Yeah. I just can't believe this guy's letting everyone run roughshod online, fucking getting these reports leaked and all this other stuff. It makes the company look like dog shit. And again, everyone thinks it's the work. What is this doing for the work? Where is the money coming from? Like, how are they going to make money with this work? Because if you're working people, you're doing it to make money. These aren't works that are like, oh my god, I can't wait to see what happens next on TV. Even though all the shit you're hearing about is backstage.
Right.
So I don't know.
AEW has that kind of unpredictability factor, and I say that in a way like, obviously the people that are in the picture, who's gonna come over, who's gonna get put over, whatever. But it's not like WWE to the point where, cards are getting leaked every week and it's like, oh, well, the whole card, so type of thing. AEW has an unpredictability factor to it to where...
What I find funny about AEW, is that people don't even leak out Rampage.
No. Which
is fucking weird. There'll be reports online, but nobody will cover it. You got to click on that fucking report to read it.
Yeah.
But people aren't taking it, making headlines. Usually with like WWE shows, when they get leaked, they'll have the report and then they'll have all the headlines of all the shit that happened.
Yeah.
A lot of people keep that mum with AEW. What were you saying, though?
Yeah, no, that's pretty much what I was saying. It's like, you really don't hear about the shows like that. It's kind of good for AEW because there's a lot of unpredictability with it.
Well, I think before we go, if anybody has any questions in the live chat room, let me know. Rampage is a missable show. Yeah, and it shouldn't be.
It shouldn't, no.
I haven't watched it in almost a year.
Rampage
when this
should
guy
be like
Punk
Saturday
came back was like one of the last times I watched it.
It should be like Saturday Night Main Event. You get like 3 big matches.
I'll be honest with you, I haven't watched Dynamite in months.
Yeah, Dynamite, they've been doing dark on Dynamite lately.
Since that Forbidden Door shit, I haven't watched it.
Yeah, it hasn't been that great. It's watchable, I guess, but...
When Punk got hurt, I didn't even watch the Rampage where he came out and said that he was fucking leaving for a little bit. I saw a clip on their YouTube channel. And I was like, oh shit, this guy got hurt? And that was it. I have no desire to watch Dynamite or Rampage. Then the shit was going on with Vince, and then the shit was going on with this guy, Triple H, and then shit's going on with Tony Khan, and he's running down the block trying to grab people to come back. He's promoting everybody. Like, what the fuck is going on in this company? Wrestling is like, it just, when it's starting to get good, it's starting to like fucking fuck up now. It's like Tony Khan can't hold his own dick anymore. This guy whooped Triple H's ass for 2.5 years. All of a sudden now he can't get it up. He needs that blue chew.
Yeah. But I like that he's bringing the people from Elevation. If you watch that show, he's bringing them. He's putting them on Dynamite, trying to get them a spot.
Right.
But I think he has to do a little more to build stars organically, and that's where the Booker comes in. Because, like, really only like 20-30% of the audience watch Dark every week, It's an hour show, and then Elevation's a 2-hour show. It's like almost as long as Dynamite sometimes.
Yeah, but he's in big trouble because guys are going to look to leave. If there's a fucking backstage war,
yeah,
guys are going to go to WWE.
Mm-hmm.
might not be the indie guys. It might be the fucking AEW original guys that he was building the company on. Jungle Boy might say, you know what, fuck this place. I'm going to WWE. They'll hire me tomorrow.
And I like Jungle Boy's arc right now. Like he's having a really
right.
good
I
arc.
think he's going to stick with AEW for now.
Mm-hmm.
But I remember when his father was alive, Luke Perry. They went right to Triple H and Dusty Rhodes. They're like, how can we get my kid in WWE?
Mm-hmm.
And they said he's got to go. He's got to train. He's got to do all this shit. Blah 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 blah. And they did all that, but I think WWE wasn't interested in keeping him as Jungle Boy. They thought that was like a dumb gimmick.
Yeah.
He's making it work in AEW. But will Triple H have a different opinion now that this guy's been successful as Jungle Boy?
Mm-hmm.
Will he have a different opinion based on he's got competition now?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Jungle
We're going to
Boy-
find out. That's what's interesting with when you have two companies like this. You're always going to have people that jump on both sides. Cody Rhodes was like the shot fired around the world. You had other people saying, hey, you know what? We'll see how Cody does with Vince. Vince is gone.
Mm-hmm.
Now people are seeing, okay, WWE talent is more free to do things. For the last, month now, they're going to see how it goes. But, man, if this guy Triple H hits a home run with all that, you're going to have top AEW guys go to WWE.
Yeah.
Because they're not going to be afraid.
That's what's good about right now. That's why AEW has to kind of, that's Tony. He puts his foot down. Okay, a couple guys walk out, and a couple people are gonna stay.
Right.
Not everybody is gonna walk out on Tony because think about it. Everybody walks out on Tony. The company folds. Now they're
Some
in
guys
WWE
can't
5
walk
years
out.
locked up.
CM Punk, where's he going to go?
And then where are they gonna go? Exactly.
Hangman Page, though, yeah, he's got a fucking open spot right over in WWE.
Mm-hmm.
And again, do you want to lose Hangman for CM Punk?
Yeah.
And if CM Punk is lost, he's done.
Yeah.
I think this was supposed to be
In a
Punk's
way-
last run.
Yeah.
And I think he was going to go be a booker or Ring of Honor or something for Tony Khan. I think he was going to be involved somehow.
Yeah. In a
But,
way,
dude,
you
you're going
have
to lose fucking Hangman, the guy that you helped build the company with. He could call fucking Cody Rhodes and be over there tomorrow. What if Triple H says, you know what, fuck your contract. I'll buy your contract out from Tony Khan.
Yeah.
He calls up Tony Khan. He goes, yeah, you know what? You're giving Hangman $2 million. We'll give you fucking $5 million just to fucking get him out of there.
Yeah.
What's Tony Khan going to say? No. He can use that extra money to fucking pay for somebody else.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but you're in danger of losing a guy that is a fucking AEW original. Another one.
Yeah. In a way, sometimes you just gotta let guys go and do things other places.
Yeah, but
And
a guy named Eric Bischoff let fucking Steve Austin go.
Yeah.
And look how that turned out. It fucking killed the company.
Right. It takes certain things. It takes certain factors sometimes. Because Tony, like you said, he could put his foot down tomorrow and,
He's got to. He's got to go in there. He's got to have a meeting and say, guys, listen, we all got to get along. We got to figure this shit out.
Right.
What can we do? Get in a room together and talk it out, figure it all out. And this shit's going to end.
Yeah.
Because AEW now, perception is that it's worse than WWE's locker room earlier this year. Remember, all year, WWE locker room was all low morale and everything?
Yeah.
Dude, I mean, you don't want that.
No.
We've seen everything. TNA had the same problem. When Jeff Jarrett left, they fired all his crew. NXT, we saw that. We saw Vince McMahon get rid of NXT.
Yep.
Triple H's NXT fired all those guys. I bet you a bunch of people that went to AEW now, they regret going. But at the time, Vince McMahon was the guy in charge. And they knew under Vince they wouldn't be fucking featured.
Yeah.
But I guarantee you there's guys in AEW now that were in NXT that are like, you know what, I'm counting the days down on my contract. And they're going to go back.
Something's got to come to pass if the business wants to succeed as a whole. Because if AEW goes, then...
If AEW goes, it's done, man.
Another...
Because then someone's going to buy WWE, and then it's never going to be the same.
No, it's not.
So, AEW's got to figure it out. They got to stay in business.
Do you really want the wrestling industry in the hands of GCW? I don't think so.
Oh, nah. Nah, whatever.
Yeah.
We don't have any questions. I'm going to go. Eli, take care. Stay safe out there, buddy. Thanks for doing the show. This is episode 1 of the podcast version. I'm calling it podcast because why the hell not?
Fuck it.
So, if we do another one, we'll do another one at some point. But this was the news for the date of August 20th, 2022. And that's pretty much it. So, everyone take care, stay safe. Thank you for watching. Thank you for the super chats earlier from RWK88 and Richard. Appreciate it. I want to thank Hockey Fan as well. Thanks for streaming, says Richard. Thank you for watching. I want to thank, like I said, Hockey Fan.
No.
For being with us for all these years. Appreciate it.
Shout out to Jesus and the guys over on M3 TV.
MTV.
Yeah, on MTV.
Hang on, my freaking browser froze again. We need to figure this out, like, quick.
Yeah, both
because this shit is not, this shit keeps freezing up. Let's promote them properly.
Yeah.
For your weekly wrestling news, go to M3 TV on YouTube. Subscribe to the Rock Solid Wrestling Talk podcast with Jesus and the guys over there. Check out episode 316. They just uploaded. And, I mean, I could promote, like, Anthony's channel, even though it's not wrestling related, but Let's Talk Resident Evil on YouTube. Anthony's channel. I'm only saying that because it's not really wrestling related, but I blurted that out, so there you go. But everyone take care. Thank you again. Appreciate it.
Appreciate you guys.
We'll see you next time something crazy happens, but yeah, fuck these guys on Twitter because I'm reading shit and my head's exploding. So there you go. All right. Take care, everyone. Good night. Eli, good night. Appreciate it.
All right. Later, guys. Peace.
Peace.